Chapter 440. The lunar eclipse this time was relatively short, lasting less than 2 hours. During this time, Ji-yu had been wiping Murong Zi-Li's sweat and massaging her, even if it could only relieve a little bit of pain. Thank you. After the lunar eclipse ended, the severe pain in Murong Zi-Li's head gradually subsided. Recalling how Ji-yu had gently and patiently helped her, her state of mind couldn't help but undergo a subtle change. Regarding my cultivation, you should understand now, right? Murong Zi-Li said. And Ji-yu slowly said, actually, it's not that there's no solution to your curse. What did you say? Murong Zi-Li was slightly stunned. I know how to remove this curse. Ji-yu responded. You, how could you possibly know? Murong Zi-Li's beautiful eyes flashed with disbelief. She didn't dare to believe it. After all, her Murong clan had never found an effective method to remove the curse. It's because I know of a secret manual for the amethyst pupils, and it's different from the one you have, Mannerhead. Ji-yu said, what you have is the first half of the cultivation manual. What I know is the second half. If you don't believe me, you can look into my eyes. Hearing this, Murong Zi-Li immediately looked into Ji-yu's eyes. She saw Ji-yu's eyes instantly become almost the same as her own, and even far stronger than her own. Murong Zi-Li suddenly felt extremely shocked. She had long cultivated the purple-glazed pupil to the limit of seeing aura as real. Logically speaking, it was impossible for anyone's purple-glazed pupil to be stronger than hers. What the hell is going on? Because she was too shocked and agitated, it affected Murong Zi-Li's judgment. After all, in her subconscious mind, the purple-glazed pupil only had 2 realms, meticulous and seeing aura as real. She had never heard of a purple-glazed pupil cultivation manual having a first half and a second half. In fact, there are 4 realms in the purple-glazed pupil. They are thoroughly meticulous, observing qi as real, seeing through reality, and purple-glazed divine transformation. Ji-yu explained in detail. As for the 3rd stage, seeing through illusion, and the 4th stage, purple-glazed deity transformation, they are recorded in the second half of the cultivation manual. As for the method to remove the curse, it is to cultivate the purple-glazed pupil to the 4th stage, the purple-glazed spirit transformation. But your family is missing the second half of the cultivation manual, so you haven't been able to solve this curse. Ji-yu had made it very clear. As for why he wasn't affected by the curse, it was because this curse was born with the Murong clan, and Ji-yu only obtained a portion of her bloodline through Murong Zi-Li's essence blood. He would not be cursed. Or else, during the 2 hours of the lunar eclipse, Ji-yu had a good time. After all, he had only reached the 3rd stage of the amethyst pupil, the 3rd stage of seeing through illusion. Although he wasn't far from the 4th stage, purple-glazed spirit transformation, it would still take a few days. After hearing Ji-yu's words, Murong Zi-Li gradually calmed down. She quickly understood what was going on. So you're saying that the second half of the cultivation manual is on you? Murong Zi-Li calmly said. Perhaps because it was recorded in my mind. Ji-yu pointed at his head. Recorded in your mind? Murong Zi-Li asked. How did you find the second half of the cultivation manual? I found it by accident in a secret realm. Ji-yu casually found a reason to dodge it. Originally, I didn't know what it was, until you gave me the first half of the cultivation manual last time. Only then did I realize that it was the second half of the cultivation manual. And it also recorded the curses, which is why I know so much about them. Ji-yu didn't blush or pant as she randomly spouted nonsense, not mentioning a single word about the system. Murong Zi-Li could hear that Ji-yu wasn't willing to reveal too much. She didn't continue to ask. Next, I can teach you how to cultivate the 3rd and 4th stage of the amethyst pupil. At that time, when you reach the purple-glazed spirit transformation, you can remove the curse. At this time, Ji-yu said. Then I'll have to trouble you. Murong Zi-Li unhesitatingly said. She had already had enough of this curse. She had been cursed for 21 years. Every night of the lunar eclipse, she was in so much pain that she wished she was dead. Even if her willpower and endurance were constantly being tempered, the pain brought by the curse hadn't decreased in the slightest. And the pain brought by the curse wasn't a big deal. As early as 5 years ago, she had already reached the peak of the 9th stage of the Tongxian realm. Now, 5 years had passed, but she was still in the same place, unable to break through. Whether it was physically or mentally, it brought great torment to Murong Zili. Now that she knew there was a way to remove the curse, how could she give up this opportunity? Chapter 441. After that, Ji explained the second half of the Amethyst Pupil's cultivation manual word by word to Murong Zili. For Murong Zili, she could understand most of it after listening to it once. And the small portion that was hard to understand, she would remember, so as to avoid troubling Ji if she accidentally forgot later. Okay, I've finished explaining everything. At this time, Ji had already explained the second half of the cultivation manual. He even added some embellishments about the curse. This way, she could at least cover up the nonsense she made up earlier. I've also memorized everything. Thank you. Murong Zili found it hard to suppress the joy in her heart. Although the curse hadn't been lifted yet, now she had found a way. Lifting the curse was only a matter of time. At least before the next full moon, Murong Zili was confident that she could cultivate the amethyst pupils to the amethyst divine transformation realm. Then, it's about time for me to go back, Ji said. After speaking, he held Xiao Gu's hand and left. Take care. Murong Zili watched as Ji walked out of the amethyst hall. Then, she began to cultivate the third realm of the amethyst pupils, seeing through reality. At this time, Murong Zili suddenly thought. When she gave Ji the cultivation manual, it was less than a month ago. In less than a month, she had already reached the seeing through reality realm. Thinking back, even Murong Zili, who had the strongest bloodline and the highest talent in the clan, took nearly half a year to cultivate the second realm of the amethyst pupils, seeing through aura. When she was 12, she started cultivating the amethyst pupils and martial arts. When she was 16, the amethyst pupils had reached the limit of the third realm of the seeing through aura realm. Her martial arts cultivation had also reached the peak of 9th stage of the Tongxian realm. Unfortunately, after that, Murong Zili didn't improve at all. On the other hand, Ji only used less than a month to reach this level of the amethyst pupils. Murong Zili couldn't help but find it hard to believe. However, she had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, if she hadn't given Ji her blood essence, Ji wouldn't have been able to cultivate the amethyst eyes. Murong Zili couldn't help but sigh. Now that he thought about it, he had really witnessed the rise of a peerless genius. With Xiao Gu's help, Ji quickly returned to the Azure Water Branch Hall. The first thing he did when he arrived at his residence was to absorb the soul origin energy that the old ancestor had left in his body. Ding! It has been detected that the host is currently absorbing the soul origin energy. The absorption speed has increased to 999 times. Ding! It has been detected that the host is currently absorbing the soul origin energy. The absorption speed has increased to 999 times. Under the blessing of the 999 times absorption speed, it didn't take long for Ji to finish absorbing the soul source energy. He could clearly feel that his soul power had increased by a large margin. After that, Ji fell asleep. In the following days, Ji planned to settle all the things he was worried about and then leave the Kanglan Empire to explore the outside world. When the palace master wasn't around, the 3 vice palace masters would help to handle the affairs. Therefore, Ji didn't need to worry about the Azure Water Branch Hall. The main thing was that he had to settle those things first. With Murong Zili protecting Yuchu, Uxin, and Ling he didn't need to worry about them. Zhuang Weiran had become the Queen of Azure Water and her father had become a spirit-profound realm expert, so he didn't need to worry about them. There were a bunch of Tongxian realm puppets in Chaoyang Ancient City and Jiang Zhongtian, so he didn't need to worry about them. Now, there were only 2 or 3 things that Jiyu was worried about. The first was the pill formula for the 6th grade Great Heaven Mystic Yang pill that the Nangong family gave him. The second was Yu Shuyun. He didn't know how she was doing right now. Other than these 2 things, there was nothing else that Jiyu couldn't let go of. First, he planned to go to the Alchemist Guild to see Yu Shuyun. The Great Heaven Mystic Yang pill formula didn't need to be anxious. He would think about it after seeing Yu Shuyun. Chapter 442. A few days later, Jiyu once again headed to the Alchemist Guild to see how Yu Shuyun was doing. Ding. Host has used Shadowless Lightning Flash. Shadowless Lightning Flash has gained 999 times experience. Ding. Host has used Shadowless Lightning Flash. Shadowless Lightning Flash has gained 999 times experience. Relying on her movement skills, Jiyu brought Xiao Gu into the Alchemist Guild without anyone noticing. Relying on his soul perception, he sensed Yu Shuyun's exact location. However, there seemed to be a lot of people there. Jiyu curiously went over to take a look and realized that this was a pill refining area in the Alchemist Guild. Yu Shuyun seemed to be preparing to start refining pills, but there was a youth harassing her. It seemed to be Qin Xiaotong. "Miss Yu, I am sincere towards you," Qin Xiaotong said to Yu Shuyun with deep feelings. Ever since Zhuang Weiran became the queen of Tsanglan, he completely dispelled any thoughts of Zhuang Weiran. Now, he focused on Yu Shuyun. At the same time, there were other alchemists watching from the surroundings. Obviously, Qin Xiaotong purposely expressed his love to Yu Shuyun in such a crowded place. He felt that with so many people watching, Yu Shuyun would be embarrassed to reject him. Did you see that? Young Master Qin is pestering Yu Shuyun again. How many times has it been? Qin Xiaotong really can't forget Yu Shuyun. Anyway, I don't really want Miss Yu to agree to Qin Xiaotong. That guy is fickle and hypocritical. The surrounding people were discussing softly. However, Yu Shuyun didn't want to bother with Qin Xiaotong. But at this moment, she suddenly saw a familiar figure in a certain position in the crowd. Jiyu? Yu Shuyun didn't see clearly, but subconsciously thought of this person. She immediately stood up and couldn't help but walk quickly in that direction. Seeing this, Qin Xiaotong thought that Yu Shuyun was walking towards him. He was instantly overjoyed. He finally got this troublesome girl. However, Yu Shuyun walked past him and walked into the crowd. What's going on? Qin Xiaotong was stunned. He couldn't react. When Yu Shuyun walked closer, she found that it was indeed Jiyu. She couldn't help but hug her. This action instantly made Qin Xiaotong was dumbfounded. He took a closer look and realized that it was actually Yu. With Jiyu's appearance, Qin Xiaotong did not even dare to utter a single word. He could only be jealous of Jiyu. Not only did he capture Zhuang Weiran's heart, Yu Shuyun had also become Jiyu's woman. Not to mention Yu. He was backed by the Qianyuan Martial House, Kanglin Branch Palace, and the Imperial Palace. He did not dare to provoke Jiyu. He didn't dare to say anything to his father. If his father knew that he wanted to make a move on Jiyu's woman, his father would be so angry that he would skin him alive. In order to save his life, Qin Xiaotong took advantage of this opportunity to escape. In fact, Zhuang Tianke didn't spread the news that Jiyu was the Azure Water Palace's palace master. Therefore, Qin Xiaotong only knew that Jiyu was now a part of the Azure Water Palace. He didn't know that Jiyu had become the Azure Water Palace's palace master. At this time, more and more people noticed that the young man Yu Shuyun was hugging was Jiyu. F***ck, am I seeing things? Jiyu is actually here. I've heard that Yu Shuyun and Jiyu have a close relationship. It seems that it's true. As expected of the number one prodigy. Her Highness the Queen and Yu Shuyun have both become his women. In other words, Qin Shoutong wants to make a move on Ji Yu's woman. This is going to be fun. A group of people, some were gloating, some were envious. But those people could only be envious. After all, only the strong were worthy of beauties. They were more concerned about what would happen to Qin Shoutong, who dared to make a move on Ji Yu's woman. They turned to look. As expected, Qin Shoutong had already sneakily run far away. Chapter 443. You finally came to see me. Yu Shuyun hugged Ji Yu tightly and said softly. It had been a long time since she last saw Ji Yu. She missed her very much. In fact, she had gone to the Qianyuan martial mansion several times to look for Ji Yu. But she had failed every time. Even when she asked Jiang Yuechu and Jiang Yuexin, they did not know where Ji Yu had gone. During this period, Yu Shuyun had not only missed Ji Yu, but she had also been worried that something had happened to Ji Yu. Today, she finally saw Ji Yu. She had so many things to say, but she did not know what to say first. Hearing the bitterness in Yu Shuyun's voice, Ji Yu smiled and said, "Yes, I'm here to see you. It's not convenient to talk here. Let's go to a quieter place first." Ji Yu continued, "Follow me." Only then did Yu Shuyun let go of him. Ji Yu followed her. As for Qin Shoutong, who had sneaked away just now, he could not be bothered to deal with him. He was not in the mood to waste his time on that kind of person. However, if that guy dared to do anything out of line in the future, he would not mind killing him. Following Yu Shuyun, Ji Yu came to a simple, luxurious, and antique house. Xiao Gu had been by her side the whole time. "Where is this?" Ji Yu looked around and felt that this was a boudoir. "This is the place that President Kirin arranged for me," Yu Shuyun replied. Ji Yu had also guessed that this was indeed Yu Shuyun's boudoir. "By the way, who is this little girl?" At this moment, Yu Shuyun looked at the little girl by Ji Yu's side. Ji Yu then briefly introduced Yu Shuyun. "So it's little Gu. Let's sit first," Yu Shuyun said, after the three of them were seated. "Ji Yu, where have you been all this while?" Yu Shuyun continued. "I went to the Qianyuan martial house, but I couldn't find you. I went to the Azure Water Branch Hall to settle some matters." Ji Yu said honestly. "Has it been settled?" Yu Shuyun asked again. Although she did not know what the Azure Water Branch Hall was, she did not ask. She was relieved as long as Ji Yu was fine. "I've already dealt with it, so I'm here to see you," Ji Yu said. "That's good." Yu Shuyun immediately felt relieved. Ji Yu hesitated for a moment before saying, "But it won't be long before I have to leave the Kanglan Empire for a while." "Is that so?" Yu Shuyun's expression didn't change. In fact, she was deliberately hiding her disappointment. Even so, Ji Yu still noticed a trace of it. He was about to say something, but Yu Shuyun suddenly changed the topic. "I forgot to tell you last time that you have been engaged to Jiang Yuechu and Jiang Yuexin," Yu Shuyun said straightforwardly. "When will you be engaged to me?" Ji Yu was shocked by Yu Shuyun's straightforwardness. He was speechless for a moment. "Or do you want to be engaged to me after you come back from the Kanglan Empire?" Yu Shuyun asked. Well, Ji Yu was stunned for a while before nodding blankly. Seeing Ji Yu nodding, Yu Shuyun suddenly smiled like a flower. "Then I'll be waiting for you here." Ji Yu was stunned. This should be the first time he saw Yu Shuyun smiling so happily. It made him remember the promise just now. "I will never forget." Ji Yu also smiled. Next, Ji Yu chatted with Yu Shuyun for a while before leaving. Now that Yu Shuyun was living well in the Alchemist Guild, he didn't need to worry about her. As for that Qin Shoutong, as long as Ji Yu went to the Alchemist Guild President Kirin, that Qin Shoutong would be well behaved. Of course, there would be unexpected situations. What if Kirin didn't give him face? But it didn't matter. Ji Yu had many ways. Either he brought Yu Shuyun to the palace or Qianyuan martial house, or he directly killed Kirin and Qin Shoutong. After that, Ji Yu went directly to Kirin. Kiran gave him enough face and directly scolded Qin Shaotong, forbidding Qin Shaotong from getting close to Yu Shuyun. He even grounded him for 3 months. Kiran was very sincere, so Ji Yu didn't care about anything. Chapter 444. After leaving the Pill Master Guild, Ji Yu set off for Bright Moon Ancient City. Now, he was going to find the Nangong family and ask them about the great heavenly mystic yang pill recipe. With Little Gu's flying speed. Not long after, Ji Yu arrived at the Nangong residence in Bright Moon Ancient City. The 2 guards who were dozing off in front of the Nangong residence were instantly jolted awake by the commotion caused by Ji Yu and Little Gu descending from the sky. "Who's there?" one of the guards immediately exclaimed in shock. He did not notice that the person who had arrived was Ji Yu. Meanwhile, the other guard recognized Ji Yu and immediately smacked that guard's head. "Idiot, this is Ji Yu, Master Ji Yu. Get out of the way." That guard was almost stunned by the smack. However, when he heard the words, Ji Yu, he hurriedly stepped aside. Ji Yu ignored the 2 of them. He walked into the Nangong residence with a calm expression. Little Gu also silently followed behind him. Although the 2 guards saw that this little girl was different from normal people, they did not dare to say anything. After entering the Nangong residence, Ji Yu quickly found the Nangong family head, Nangong Yu. Nangong Maching happened to be here as well. "Why is Ji Gongzi here all of a sudden?" Nangong Yu was surprised. "Could it be that he's here to find Maching?" Before Nangong Yu could finish his sentence, Ji Yu asked, "I want to know what's going on with this pill formula." Ding. Host has activated his spiritual power to open the storage ring. Gold level spiritual power, experience gained. 1 by 999 times. He had already taken out the great heavenly mystic yang pill recipe from his storage ring. This, Nangong Yu was overjoyed. He thought that Ji Yu was here to find his daughter. Nangong Maching, who was at the side, did not feel anything special. This was because he was already used to Ji Yu's personality. At this moment, Nangong Yu finally came to his senses and looked at the pill recipe in Ji Yu's hand. "Oh, so that's what Ji Gongzi wanted to ask." Nangong Yu said, "A mysterious person told us this on the day Maching was born. I only know that this is the pill formula for the grade 6 Great Heaven Mystic Yang pill, but I'm not sure about its specific uses. Moreover, no one in our Nangong family has the ability to refine this 6th grade pill, so we just gave it to Ji Gongzi. It's not bad for Ji Gongzi to keep it for his collection." After hearing what Nangong Yu had to say, Ji Yu was speechless. He had even specially come over to ask, but in the end, Nangong Yu also knew nothing. "Oh right, Maching's coming-of-age ceremony will be held in a month's time. Young master, will you be able to attend?" Nangong Yu took the opportunity to say. He still wanted to matchmake his daughter with Ji Yu, especially since Ji Yu's rise in power in the Kanglan Empire was swift and fierce. Moreover, Maching was obviously interested in Ji Yu. In the entire Kanglan Empire, there was no one more suitable than Ji Yu. His only worry was that Ji Yu might not be willing. "In a month's time?" Ji Yu muttered to herself. At this time, Nangong Maching couldn't help but look at Ji Yu with anticipation. "I might not be in the Kanglan Empire at that time," Ji Yu said. "If I come back in time, I can come and attend." "Come back in time? Where is Ji Gongzi going?" Nangong Maching couldn't help but ask. "Yes," Ji Yu said, "I'll be leaving the Kanglan Empire in about 2 days, and I can't say when I'll be back." "So that's the case," Nangong Maching nodded slightly. A trace of imperceptible disappointment flashed through her beautiful eyes. As for where Ji Yu was going, she didn't continue to ask. After all, she knew that she didn't have the right to interfere with Ji Yu. The only thing she could do was hope that Ji Yu could come back in time. Since she didn't get any information about the usefulness of the mysterious heavenly yang pill, Ji Yu casually chatted with Nangong Yu and Nangong Maching for a while before leaving. With Xiao Gu's help, she directly flew back to the Kanglan division from Bright Moon Ancient City. Jiyu planned to rest today and inform Wen Yunyang and the other 2 Vice Palace Masters. She would leave the Kanglan Empire tomorrow. Chapter 445. Ding. Host has reviewed for 1 minute, silver level memory gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Host has reviewed for 1 minute, silver level memory gained experience. 1 by 999 times. After returning to the Azure Water Branch Hall, Jiyu hurriedly finished today's matters. Then, he went to inform the 3 Vice Hall Masters. He asked them to help deal with the matters in the following days. Jiyu wasn't afraid of the 3 Vice Hall Masters having any ulterior motive. Not to mention that he had already established his prestige in the Azure Water Branch Hall. Now, Zhuang Tianke had already broken through to the Spirit Profound Realm. When Murong Zili cultivated the purple-glazed pupil to the purple-glazed spirit transformation realm, she would definitely be able to break through to the Spirit Profound Realm. Just these 3 Vice Hall Masters who were at the peak of the 9th level of the Tongxian realm didn't have the qualifications to have any ulterior motive. After that, Jiyu returned to his residence to rest. As he rested, he thought about it. Tomorrow, after leaving the Kanglan Empire, where should he go? Or should he say, although he could go anywhere? Regarding the southern region, Jiyu had specially flipped through many books to understand. Although the books didn't record much, he more or less understood it. The southern region had a total of 7 empires. They were Kanglan Empire, Shattering Army Empire, Wanshan Empire, Qingang Empire, Lingbao Empire, Drunken Moon Empire, and Puppet Empire. The 7 empires, to a certain extent, corresponded to the 7 professions. For example, the most popular profession in the Kanglan Empire was, without a doubt, the alchemist. The most popular profession in the Shattering Army Empire was Array Master. And the most popular profession in the Wanshan Empire was Beast Tamer. Later on, the Qingang Empire corresponded to refiners. The Lingbao Empire corresponded to appraisers. The Drunken Moon Empire corresponded to brewers. As for the Puppet Empire, it was obvious that the most popular profession was puppet masters. Apart from the 7 empires, the southern region actually had 2 other places, and they were both extremely special places. One of them was the Land of Chaos. The Land of Chaos was where all the evil people of the southern region gathered. It was a lawless place. Those who would be in such a place were either outlaws who committed all manner of crimes or madmen who sought thrills. Of course, there were also a very small number of geniuses who deliberately went to temper themselves. After all, in such a dangerous place, one could lose their life at any time. The other place was the Land of Extreme Cold. There were no detailed descriptions of the Arctic lands in the books. He only knew that there was such a place. Jiyu, on the other hand, planned to head to the Wanshan Empire, which was the closest to the Kanglan Empire. Even though the Fringe was his favorite place, it was still the Fringe. After all, this was the most suitable place for him to train himself. However, the Fringe was the furthest away from the Kanglan Empire. The next day, Jiyu led the way, and Xiao Gu brought him to the Wanshan Empire. The distance was still very far, and it took them about 3 hours to reach their destination. Jiyu was dressed in the black uniform of the Azure Water Branch Hall. Meanwhile, Xiao Gu was wearing the white dress that Jiyu had specially bought for her. Her silver hair and snow-white skin were a perfect match for this white dress. At this moment, Jiyu and Xiao Gu were landing in a sparsely populated area of the Wanshan Empire. The reason why they didn't fly to crowded places was to avoid unnecessary trouble. Jiyu still kept the map that he bought from the Wanshan Empire last time in his storage ring. Ding! Host has activated his spiritual power to open the storage ring. Gold level spiritual power experience gained. 1 by 999 times. He opened the storage ring and took out the map. After determining his geographical location, he set off for a nearby town called Greenrock Town. Ding! Host has taken a step. Earth rank superior movement technique, shadowless lightning flash experience gained. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Host has taken a step. Earth rank superior movement technique, shadowless lightning flash experience gained. 1 by 999 times. With GU's current cultivation, even if it was just a normal walk, his speed was extremely fast. Within a few minutes, he arrived at Greenrock Town. However, the people of Greenrock Town didn't seem to welcome him. When GU arrived at the entrance of Greenrock Town, he found a group of fully armed people blocking the entrance. Each of them stared at him with an unfriendly expression. "Stop right there, who are you people?" A middle-aged man standing at the front shouted in a cold voice. "We are just normal people passing by." GU walked over unhurriedly and said calmly. Chapter 446. Ordinary people? The middle-aged burly man frowned. He examined them carefully. He found that the young man in black and the little girl did not have much aura of cultivation. They were indeed ordinary people. At this moment, the middle-aged burly man's furrowed brows relaxed, and the other fully armed men next to him also relaxed their vigilance. "Sorry, we went too far just now." The middle-aged burly man put down the weapon in his hand and apologized. The others also apologized one after another. In their eyes, it should be that the brother and sister just happened to pass by here. But they did not ask for an explanation and pointed their weapons at two innocent children. Naturally, they had to apologize. "It's okay." GU didn't care at all. From the beginning, he could see that these people were only at the defensive profound realm. The strongest middle-aged burly man was only at the 8th level of the defensive profound realm. With this level of cultivation, even if GU stood still, they couldn't hurt GU at all. But looking at these people, they didn't look like the kind of unruly people who used force to rob passers-by. GU guessed that this Green Rock Town might be often attacked by demon beasts or bandit. That was why there were so many fully armed people blocking the entrance. "Come in quickly. If those bandits from the Black Cloud Fortress come later, it will be troublesome." At this moment, the middle-aged burly man kindly reminded. It was just as GU guessed. These people were guarding against bandits and thieves. But he didn't say much. He nodded lightly and slowly walked into Green Rock Town. After that, GU discovered that there were some demonic beasts not far behind those people. They were all lying there docilely. Clearly, these demonic beasts had been tamed by those people. After walking for a while, GU noticed that the surroundings were a little bleak. Many of the houses looked dilapidated. Some only had a part of the wall broken, and some were even unrecognizable. However, there were still people living in them. "Dad, don't waste money on those fake masters. None of them are reliable." At this moment, a beautiful brown-haired girl with wheat-colored skin walked past GU and stopped in front of GU. Beside the brown-haired girl was a handsome middle-aged man. From their conversation, one could tell that this middle-aged man was the girl's father. "I know, but I had no choice." The middle-aged man sighed. "Worst comes to worst, we can just move away from Green Rock Town. Don't give money to those scammers." The brown-haired girl said unyieldingly. "That's too troublesome, and it's very risky. We can't do that." The middle-aged man vetoed. "What else can we do?" The brown-haired girl became anxious. "Is this the best way? No matter what, let's let that master try first," the middle-aged man said. At this moment, GU overheard the conversation between the father and daughter. From time to time, passers-by would call out "Mayor" to the middle-aged man. In other words, the middle-aged man was the mayor of Greenrock Town. "Father, can't you listen to me for once?" At this moment, the brown-haired girl suddenly stopped. The middle-aged man looked back at his daughter, not knowing what to say. He sighed deeply in his heart and continued to walk forward with a helpless expression. The brown-haired girl suddenly felt very annoyed and impatient. She angrily turned around and left. She just happened to meet Jiyu. You are? The brown-haired girl immediately asked. We're just ordinary people passing by, Jiyu said casually. Seeing that the black-clothed youth and the little girl didn't seem to be a threat, the brown-haired girl didn't care and left sullenly. Then, unknowingly, Jiyu followed the mayor to an interesting place. To be precise, something happened in this place that made him feel interesting. He saw a sanctimonious old man, dressed like a master, doing some fancy actions. In the eyes of the layman, this seemed very impressive. But in the eyes of Jiyu, an expert, he could barely see that the old man was drawing a formation diagram. What he was drawing was a very low-level first-grade offensive formation diagram. Chapter 447. Ding. Host has watched an array master draw an array diagram for 1 minute. Array formation mastery has gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Host has watched an array master draw an array diagram for 1 minute. Array formation mastery has gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Just like that, Jiyu watched as the old man performed a series of fancy operations. After spending a long time, he barely managed to draw a first-grade offensive array diagram. He felt that it was an eyesore. More importantly, the people around him were still very excited. Obviously, they didn't know anything about arrays. Next, the old man started to brag about how awesome the array diagram he drew was. What third-grade offensive array diagram? What about easily killing a defensive Mystic Realm martial artist? He bragged about it to the skies. The laymen were all swallowed by his boasting. Even the mayor almost believed the old man's words. Jiyu was speechless. He couldn't be bothered to continue watching. It was really too awkward. He couldn't be bothered with the old man. After all, these people being scammed had nothing to do with him. At this moment, the mayor asked the old man, "Then what kind of reward does Great Master want?" "Give that little girl to me as my servant. As for the gold coins, you can give as you see fit." The old man smiled and pointed at Xiao Gu, who was beside Jiyu. Seeing this, Jiyu narrowed his eyes. A cold light flashed in his eyes. The mayor looked at the little girl the old man was pointing at. He didn't seem to remember that there was such a little girl in his town. Jiyu, that old man's gaze makes me feel disgusted. At this moment, Xiao Gu pulled Jiyu's hand. "Can you let me beat him up? Don't be anxious. Let me do it first," Jiyu said slowly. He walked straight to the old man. He was just an old scammer. He wanted to leave, but this old dog didn't have eyes and came knocking on his door. Since that was the case, he definitely wouldn't let this old dog have it easy. In the blink of an eye, Jiyu was in front of the old man. "This piece of junk is the third-grade array formation you speak of?" Jiyu directly snatched the array diagram. The old man had no time to react. Ding. The host has set up the first-grade inferior offensive formation, scorching formation. Formation attainment has been rewarded with 999 times the experience. In the blink of an eye, Jiyu activated the Grade 1 array diagram. Following that, everyone felt their surroundings heat up a little. By the time the old man reacted, he found that the other party had already activated the array. He cursed inwardly. He hurriedly tried to escape. However, how could the mayor let this guy go? "You want to run?" The mayor immediately captured the old man. "Let me go." The old man struggled with all his might and shouted, "I didn't cheat you of anything, why are you arresting me?" "Shut up." The mayor coldly rebuked with a gloomy expression. The old man was frightened and obediently shut his mouth. "Take this guy away. Beat him up 30 times before throwing him out of town." Then, the mayor ordered a few of his subordinates. "No, don't." The old man was dragged away with a face full of despair. At the same time, Jiyu casually dispelled the scorching formation. Ding. The host has dispelled the first-grade inferior offensive formation, scorching formation. Formation attainment has been rewarded with 999 times the experience. He didn't even look at the old man. The evils he brought upon himself were the hardest to bear. Gu only exposed the old man's scam and didn't ask Xiao Gu to smash the old man into pieces. This was already very merciful. The main reason was that he was worried that Xiao Gu wouldn't be able to control the strength and range, and would accidentally hurt the innocent people around. After the old man was dragged away, the mayor's attitude changed drastically. He looked at Ji Yu respectfully. "Young master, I am the mayor of Green Rock Town, Li Yunhao. Thank you for exposing my scam just now." Li Yunhao thanked him with utmost sincerity. After all, if it wasn't for this young man, he would have been deceived by the old man. Because there was no one in Green Rock Town who understood formations, there was no way to verify the truth. If he was cheated of his reward later, his daughter would definitely completely fall out with him. "It's fine," Ji Yu casually replied. Then, he planned to take Xiao Gu away. The only reason he acted was because the old man had offended him. Therefore, he didn't need these people to thank him. "What are you waiting for? Hurry up and serve this young master." Li Yunhao ordered the subordinates beside him. "Send this young master to my residence." "Yes," the subordinates hurriedly replied. Ji Yu could see that Xiao Gu was a little tired and seemed to want to sleep. After all, it took him so long to fly here from the Kanglan Empire. He didn't refuse. Chapter 448. Ji Yu and Xiao Gu arrived at Li Yunhao's mansion under the escort of his men. This mansion was shabbier than the Lin family's and Chen family's mansions in Chaoyang ancient city. After all, although Li Yunhao seemed to be the strongest martial artist in Green Rock Town, he was only at the peak of LV9 defensive profound realm. Since his overall strength was so low, this mansion was naturally not much better. Not long after entering the mansion, Ji Yu bumped into the brown-haired girl again. "Yun-er, go and prepare to welcome this young master," Li Yunhao said first. Li Yun-er, the brown-haired girl, did not know what was going on, but she immediately went to prepare. Before leaving, she took a few glances at Ji Yu. Her eyes were shining with doubt. After that, Li Yunhao led Ji Yu and Xiao Gu forward slowly. They even chatted a lot on the way. However, Ji Yu did not say much from beginning to end. Most of the time, it was Li Yunhao who talked enthusiastically. When the three of them arrived, Li Yun-er had already made tea and arranged the tables and chairs. "Please have a seat." Li Yunhao then asked Ji Yu and Xiao Gu to sit inside. Ji Yu did not say anything and sat down casually. Xiao Gu sat on his lap and rested her head on his chest. Soon, she fell asleep. On the other side, Li Yunhao and Li Yun-er were talking outside the door. "Father, what is going on?" Li Yun-er finally could not help but ask. "Yun-er, you don't know. That young master just now," Li Yunhao told Li Yun-er the whole story of what had happened. Li Yun-er nodded slightly. "Then we should really thank him. I told you not to believe those swindlers, but you didn't listen to me," Li Yun-er immediately complained. "If it was not for that person's help, we would have been cheated out of a lot of money again. Sigh, it's all in the past. Let's not talk about it anymore." Li Yunhao smiled awkwardly. "Forget it." Li Yun-er did not dwell on it anymore. "Then let's move away from Green Rock Town as soon as possible." "No." However, at this moment Li Yunhao shook his head and said, "I want to ask that young master to help us set up the formation and make those bandits from the Black Cloud stronghold pay the price." "Father, why are you still so stubborn?" Li Yun-er said anxiously. "Although that person saw through the trick, it doesn't mean that he can set up a third-grade array formation. If we are fooled again, it will be too late for us to move away." She saw that he was about the same age as her, so how could he be a third-grade array grandmaster? Even the group of old men from before were all fake masters who did not live up to their name. How strong could such a young man be? In Li Yun-er's opinion, It was very likely that the other party deliberately exposed the scam in order to gain their trust so that they could make a killing. I don't think anything will go wrong this time. Let's ask that young master to give it a try first. Li Yunhao had made up his mind. No matter what, he had to give it a try. Unless he had no other choice, he absolutely did not want to move away from Green Rock Town. Most importantly, he would not have the face to face the families of those who were killed by the Black Cloud Citadel bandit. Li Yun knew that her father was a stubborn old man and would not listen no matter what she said. If it doesn't succeed, we will immediately move away from Green Rock Town. Is that okay? She could only compromise. Yes. Li Yunhao nodded heavily. If it really came to that, that was the only thing he could do. However, the conversation between Li Yunhao and Li Yun'er was heard clearly by Jiyu. He held the teacup in his hand and took a sip. He felt a little speechless, not to mention that he did not have the obligation to help the people of Green Rock Town to set up the array formation. That little girl actually questioned his attainment in array formation. At this moment, Li Yunhao and Li Yun'er walked in together. The two immediately sat beside Jiyu. Is this young master's sister? Seeing that the little girl had fallen asleep on the black-clothed youth, Li Yunhao immediately lowered his voice and asked, Do you want me to send someone to send her to rest? No need. Jiyu shook his head and said, Oh, okay. As he said that, Li Yunhao's expression gradually became serious. Young master, I have a request. You want me to help you set up the array formation, right? Jiyu did not beat around the bush and asked directly. Li Yunhao was stunned for a moment when he was exposed. Why yes. After a while, he came back to his senses and continued, I hope you can help us set up a third-grade array formation. If it succeeds, I will thank you generously. Li Yunhao's attitude and tone were very sincere. Tell me the reward first. Jiyu said lightly. A third-grade array formation was a piece of cake for him. However, the premise was that these people could give him a sufficient reward. Chapter 449. As long as it's within our means, we can give you whatever you want. Li Yunhao said firmly. Li Yun'er tried her best not to say anything. Whatever you want? The corners of Jiyu's mouth lifted slightly. He then looked at Li Yun'er. Does that mean she can do it too? Li Yun'er was slightly taken aback. When she came back to her senses, her face immediately showed an extremely ashamed and resentful expression. We can't accept that. Li Yunhao refused awkwardly. No matter what, he could not sell his own daughter. At most, he would move everyone out of Green Rock Town, as his daughter said. Okay. However, at this moment, Li Yun'er suddenly interrupted the conversation. She could not help but stand up and glare at Jiyu with a face full of shame and indignation. If you can really set up a third-grade offensive formation, I'll agree. Yun'er. Li Yunhao couldn't help but exclaim. His daughter actually took the initiative to accept his request. But you have to set up a third-grade offensive array and defeat the people from Black Cloud Citadel first. Then I'll agree. Li Yun'er emphasized. She wanted to see what kind of tricks this lecher could play. She did not see the demeanor of a master from this guy. He probably only knew a little about array formations. Therefore, Li Yun'er did not think that this guy could set up a third-grade offensive array. When the Black Cloud Citadel arrived, this guy would definitely show his true colors. Then, she would be able to teach this lecher a lesson. That was why she dared to agree to this guy's request. Anyway, this guy would definitely fail, so it did not matter if she agreed. At this moment, Jiyu looked up at Li Yun'er and said with a smile, Okay. He just wanted to tease this girl a little. After all, this girl had doubted him before. He did not expect this girl to get carried away. Since this was the case, he might as well play with her. Since the matter was settled, Li Yunhao could not say anything else. Then, Li Yunhao arranged a room for Jiyu to rest in. After what happened just now, Li Yunhao's impression of Jiyu suddenly worsened. No matter what, His children were his reverse scale. This time, when the other party proposed to use Yun-er as a reward, he almost couldn't hold back his anger. Unless Yun-er was willing, as a father, he would never force Yun-er to submit herself to others. However, not only did Yun-er take the initiative to accept, but she also added reasonable conditions, which made him feel much better. If that young man could successfully set up a Tier 3 array formation, Li Yunhao would no longer be estranged from him. On the other hand, he had to make the other party regret it. In fact, Jiyu was just joking. But he accidentally made a big joke. At this time, Jiyu thought for a while and felt that it was better to apologize to her. Then, through spiritual communication, he sent a message to Li Yunhao. I went overboard with my joke just now. I'm sorry. After a while, Li Yunhao finally reacted. Wasn't this the mental communication that only Tongxian realm experts were capable of? This young man was actually a Tongxian expert? Li Yunhao was shocked. He was many times more shocked than when the other party exposed his lie. This young master looked to be about the same age as Yun-er, which was about 16 or 17 years old. He was so young, but he was already a Tongxian realm expert. To be able to have such terrifying martial arts talent, he was definitely a super genius whose name shook the entire region, and he almost had the urge to shed all pretense of cordiality with this young master earlier. Li Yunhao felt a lingering fear. Fortunately, Yun-er's action just now made him hold back his impulse. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable. These super geniuses usually had extremely powerful people behind them. If they were angered, the entire Green Rock town would be wiped out. At the same time, Li Yunhao thought of the other parties. I went overboard with my joke just now. He couldn't help but feel a sense of regret. With this young master's Tongxian realm cultivation, even if he couldn't set up a Tier 3 array formation, he would definitely be able to defeat the people from the Black Cloud stronghold. At that time, if Yun-er was willing, he would definitely support her with both hands. This was a Tongxian realm super genius, who was many times more powerful than him, the most powerful person in Green Rock Town. If Yun-er married this young master, not only would they be able to go against the Black Cloud stronghold, they would even be able to do whatever they wanted in the royal city. It was a pity that this was ultimately just a joke. At this moment, just as Li Yunhao was about to say something, he realized that Jiyu was already gone. This was because after transmitting that mental message, Jiyu carried Xiao Gu out of this place and headed to her room. Chapter 450. When they arrived at the room that Li Yunhao had prepared for them, Jiyu carried Xiao Gu to the bed and covered him with a blanket. Then, he sat by the bed and started cultivating the purple glazed eyes. Currently, his purple glazed eyes had reached the 3rd stage of the 3rd stage, and he was only one step away from the 4th stage, the purple glazed god transformation. Ding! Host has read the Purple Glazed Eyes Cultivation Manual for 1 minute. Purple Glazed Eyes gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Host has read the Purple Glazed Eyes Cultivation Manual for 1 minute. Purple Glazed Eyes gained experience. 1 by 999 times. After an unknown amount of time. Before Jiyu's purple glazed eyes could break through to the purple glazed divinity transformation stage, Xiao Gu had already woken up and knocked him out of his senses. When Jiyu opened his eyes, he realized that it was already late at night. That meant that he had been cultivating for almost half a day. No wonder Xiao Gu woke up at this time. There was no need for Xiao Gu to say anything. Jiyu already knew that this fellow was here for candy. Jiyu took out some candy from his storage ring and gave it to Xiao Gu. Just as he was about to fall asleep, there was a soft knock on the door. Li Yun-er's voice sounded. "It's me, Li Yun-er." "Come in," Jiyu said casually. Then, Li Yun-er pushed the door open and entered. Jiyu saw a boy and a girl following behind Li Yun-er. The two children looked even younger than Xiao Gu on the surface. They were probably around 7 or 8 years old. Why are you not sleeping at this time? Why did you bring 2 children here? Jiyu could not help but ask in confusion. This is my younger brother, Xiao Chen, and my younger sister, Xiao Ye. They kept saying that they were bored, so father asked me to bring them here to play with you. Li Yun'er said uneasily. Actually, she did not want to come at all, but her father insisted that she bring her younger brother and sister. Of course, Li Yunhao hid some things from Li Yun'er. Li Yun'er did not know that Ji Yu was a mystic enlightenment cultivator. If she knew, it would be a different situation now. I see. Meanwhile, Ji Yu looked at little Chen and little Ye and said gently, Little Chen, little Ye, come over here. He was quite fond of interacting with children. After all, children were usually very innocent. However, Xiao Chen and Xiao Ye seemed to be a little afraid of strangers. They hid behind Li Yun'er for a while before carefully walking out. At this moment, Ji Yu opened her storage ring. Ding! Host has activated his spiritual power to open the storage ring. Gold level spiritual power experience gained. 1 by 999 times. He took out some candies and other strange items from his storage ring. These strange things were things that he had casually collected in the past. Now, he could give them to children as toys. What is this? Xiao Chen was first attracted by the candy in Ji Yu's hand. His eyes seemed to be shining with a golden light as he asked in a childish voice. This is candy. It's something delicious. Ji Yu gave the candies to Xiao Chen and Xiao Ye first. Xiao Ye hurriedly took the candy and thanked him. Thank you, big brother. Meanwhile, Xiao Chen got used to it very quickly and had already started eating. Ji Yu, why did you give my candy to these 2 human brats? Seeing this, Xiao Gu, who was eating candy at the side, immediately exploded. I still have a lot of candy here. It's definitely enough for you. Don't fight with these 2 kids. Ji Yu immediately comforted Xiao Gu. After hearing Ji Yu's words, Xiao Gu finally calmed down. Then, Ji Yu treated those strange things as toys for Xiao Chen and Xiao Ye to play with. Seeing this scene, Li Yun'er's heart couldn't help but fluctuate a little. This lecture doesn't seem to be as bad as I thought. However, in the next moment, she shook her head vigorously. This guy is definitely pretending again. I can't believe him so easily. At this moment, Ji Yu obviously didn't know what Li Yun'er was thinking. His attention was not on Li Yun'er at all. Chapter 451. Big brother, are you here to help us defeat those bad guys? Halfway through playing, Xiao Ye suddenly asked Ji Yu. Hearing this, Ji Yu knew that the bad guys that Xiao Ye was talking about should be those people from the Black Cloud Fortress. Yes. Ji Yu nodded and replied with a smile. Wow. Big brother, are you really that powerful? Even father and the rest can't defeat those bad guys. At this moment, Xiao Chen exclaimed. I can barely be considered okay. Ji Yu said modestly. Speaking of which, since Big Brother is so powerful, when are you going to marry Big Sister Yun'er? Xiao Chen suddenly said something shocking. Li Yun'er, who was standing at the side, was stunned. Then, her face turned red. Don't talk about this, Big Sister Yun'er will be angry. Xiao Ye quickly reminded Xiao Chen softly. What's wrong with that? Father said before that Big Sister Yun'er should get married, and Big Brother is such a good person. Xiao Chen said confidently, instead of letting those guys outside take advantage of her, it's better to marry Big Brother. Ji Yu could only smile awkwardly, not knowing what to say. Xiao Chen, Xiao Ye, it's already very late, we should go back. At this moment, Li Yun'er seemed to be unable to stand it anymore and said, We still want to play for a while more. Xiao Chen and Xiao Ye were both unwilling. Others also need to sleep, don't be so willful. Li Yun'er lectured. All right, Xiao Chen and Xiao Ye could only listen obediently. Before leaving, Li Yun'er looked at Ji Yu. Speaking of which, what's your name? I don't even know. Ji Yu. Ji casually replied. Ji right, Li Yun'er said in her heart and then said, Ji listen carefully. When the time comes, if you can't set up a third-grade formation to defeat the Black Cloud Fortress, I will make you suffer. Yes. Ji nodded perfunctorily. Li Yun'er snorted and then left. Goodbye, big brother. Big brother, you have to do your best. Seeing Xiao Qin and Xiao Ye waving back as they walked, Ji also smiled at them. After Li Yun'er left with Xiao Qin and Xiao Ye, Ji immediately fell asleep. The next day, after breakfast, Ji directly suggested that they go and prepare the array formation later. That's good too. Let's set it up early so that we won't be caught off guard by the Black Cloud Stronghold's sudden attack. Li Yunhao nodded. Li Yun'er had no objections. This was exactly what she wanted. That way, she could immediately see through this guy's facade. Subsequently, Ji Xiao Gu, Li Yunhao, and Li Yun'er arrived at the entrance of Greenrock Town under the escort of a group of guards. Big Brother, Miss Yun'er, and the middle-aged man who had been guarding the entrance of the town was called Li Cheng. He was Li Yunhao's younger brother and Li Yun'er's uncle. When he saw Li Yunhao and the others coming over, he immediately greeted them. But when he saw the black-clothed youth and the little girl beside his big brother, he was stunned. Aren't they the two kids from yesterday? Why are they with his big brother and Miss Yun'er? This is young Master Ji and this is Ji Gongzi's younger sister. Li Yunhao introduced. Although Li Cheng did not understand, he still said respectfully, Nice to meet you, Ji Gongzi. No matter what, the fact that his big brother called this youth young master meant that this youth was definitely not ordinary. Can I start now? At this moment Ji asked. Go ahead, young master. Li Yunhao immediately replied. Li Cheng did not know what was going on, so he could only watch from the side. Ding! Host has activated his spiritual power to open the storage ring. Gold level spiritual power experience gained. 1 by 999 times. Without saying anything, Ji picked out the materials needed to create the 10,000 sword killing formation from the storage ring. A long time ago, he used this 10,000 sword killing formation to deal with the Lin family and the Qin family in Chaoyang Ancient City. This 10,000 sword killing formation was a medium third-grade offensive formation. It should be enough to deal with the motley crew from the Black Cloud Fortress. Ding! Detected that the host has started to create a medium third-grade offensive formation. The success rate of creating the offensive formation has increased to 999 times. Ding! The host has created a medium third-grade offensive formation, 10,000 sword killing formation. Array formation proficiency has increased to 999 times. Now that Ji was an inferior 4th-grade offensive formation master, it was naturally a piece of cake for him to create a medium 3rd-grade offensive formation. In addition to the 999 times success rate of creating the offensive formation, there was no chance of him failing. After about 10 minutes, Ji successfully created the formation for the 10,000 sword killing formation. Done. At this moment Ji said, Done? Li Yunhao finally reacted. How long had it been? Was it already done? Was this really a 3rd-grade offensive formation? Li Yunhao found it hard to believe. Because Ji's process of drawing the array diagram was very ordinary, unlike some people who liked to make the drawing process fancy, and because the drawing speed was too fast, it was normal for Li Yunhao to not dare to believe it. Father, let's just arrest this guy. On the other hand, Li Yun'er was certain that Ji was faking it. This, Li Yunhao was embarrassed. After all, this young master was a mystic enlightenment expert. How could he have the guts to provoke him? Father, we don't have to do anything. Just chase this guy out. Li Yun'er added. After what happened last night, she did not seem to hate this guy as much as before. Therefore, she changed her mind and did not want to go overboard. Don't be so hasty to come to a conclusion. We'll be able to test the effectiveness of my offensive formation soon. However, Ji did not panic at all. Instead, he smiled calmly. What do you mean? Li Yunhao and Li Yun'er did not understand Ji words. After a while, they suddenly realized that a group of black figures had appeared on a mountain not far away. The Black Cloud Fortress is attacking. Everyone, get ready! Li Yunhao came to his senses and shouted. Li Yun'er also reacted quickly. She immediately sent someone to ask Xiao Qin and Xiao Ye to hide. Li Yunhao's expression was ugly. He did not expect the Black Cloud Fortress to attack so soon. Many of the injured people had not recovered yet. Most importantly, he was not sure if Ji Gongzi would help them. Although he did not have high hopes for the offensive formation, Ji Gongzi was a mystic enlightenment expert. If Ji Gongzi was willing to help, they could fight it out with the Black Cloud Fortress. Ding! The host has set up the third-grade medium offensive formation, the 10,000 sword killing formation. Array formation attainment has increased by 999 experience points. At the same time, Ji finished setting up the 10,000 sword killing formation so that it could be activated at any time. All of you, stand back. Then, Ji said to everyone. Chapter 452. Ji had already sensed the Black Cloud Fortress's attack through his soul perception. Furthermore, he could accurately sense each person's cultivation base. Most of them were defensive Mystic Realm martial artists, but their levels varied. There were LV9 defensive Mystic Realm martial artists and LV1 defensive Mystic Realm martial artists. One of the strongest martial artists was at LV1 Tongxian Realm. Below him was another LV9 defensive Mystic Realm martial artist. One of them was the Fortress Master, and the other was the Deputy Fortress Master. Regardless of whether they were defensive Mystic or Tongxian Realm martial artists, they were no different from ants in Ji's eyes. The Thousand Swords formation was more than enough to deal with these guys. At the same time, the group of people did not know if they should listen to the young man. All of you back off. Li Yunhao was overjoyed. He thought that Ji was going to attack. With the help of this young man, as long as he tried his best to stop the Fortress Master, the Tongxian Realm martial artist would be able to deal with the rest of the bandits easily. However, Ji said, "You back off too." Li Yunhao did not know how to react when he heard that the young man was talking to him. Was this young man going to face everyone from the Black Cloud Fortress by himself? Li Yun'er pulled her father and retreated when she saw that the young man was still trying to be brave. She wanted to see what this young man was going to do later. After that, Ji stood at the very front with a calm expression on her face as she quietly watched the group of black figures approach from afar. Beneath his feet was the Thousand Swords formation. The reason why he asked those people to back off was because he was too lazy to choose those who would not be harmed by the Thousand Swords formation. That would consume too much of his mental strength, and it was troublesome. Soon, the Black Cloud Fortress people were only 10 meters away from them. Li Yunhao, I'll say it again. Hand over your money and women, and I'll spare your lives. The Tongxian Realm Fortress Master, who was the leader, shouted. Don't even think about it. Li Yunhao shouted coldly without hesitation. Then there's nothing more to say. Attack. The Fortress Master ordered his subordinates without further ado. At this moment, he noticed that there was a black-clothed youth and a little girl in front of Li Yunhao. What was Li Yunhao doing? Why did he let these two brats stand there? However, he found that although the little girl was young, she was extremely beautiful. Then, he ordered his subordinates, bring those two brats to me. Then, a group of people from the Black Cloud Fortress rushed over. Father, why is that guy still standing there? Li Yun'er could not help but ask. Even if he wanted to activate the array formation, there was no need to stand in front of him, right? Moreover, that guy had his little sister with him. You'll find out soon enough, Li Yunhao said with a relaxed expression. He knew that the Gongzi's cultivation was definitely above Tongxian realm. Furthermore, the Black Cloud Stronghold's Fort Master and Vice Fort Master had yet to make a move. That motley crew of defensive Profound Realm cultivators would definitely not be a match for young Master Ji. Therefore, he was not worried in the slightest. However, the others didn't know that the young man was a Tongxian realm expert. They were all shouting for the young man to come back. However, Ji didn't move at all, as if she didn't hear anything. Seeing that the group of people from the Black Cloud Fortress were approaching them aggressively, Li Yun couldn't stand it anymore. She couldn't help but rush forward to pull Ji back. At this moment, Ji was preparing to activate the Thousand Swords killing array. He also sensed Li Yun's movement through his soul perception. Without even turning around, he directly grabbed Li Yun and pulled her over. In the blink of an eye, the Thousand Swords killing array was activated. Li Yun didn't expect Ji to suddenly grab her. Moreover, her body was pressed against Ji's back. She was shocked. Just as she was about to struggle free, she heard the sound of something breaking through the air. What happened next shocked her. She saw countless invisible sharp blades moving around her at high speed. They were irresistible and unstoppable. The group of people from the Black Cloud Fortress was instantly defeated. They died without a complete corpse. Blood and flesh flew everywhere. Not only Li Yun but Li Yunhao and the rest behind her were also shocked by this scene. They looked at the ground full of corpses in front of Ji in disbelief. In the blink of an eye, they were all annihilated. The leader and deputy leader of the Black Cloud Fortress opposite them couldn't believe what had happened. So many of their subordinates were gone just like that? Are you okay? After killing a group of people from the Black Cloud Fortress, Ji first asked Li Yun who was behind him. Yeah. Li Yun replied in a daze. She suddenly wondered if she would have ended up like those people from the Black Cloud Fortress if Ji didn't pull her just now. Li Yun didn't dare to continue thinking about it. It was too terrifying. As long as you're okay, Ji said. After saying that, he stepped on the eye of the Thousand Swords killing array and broke it. Ding! Host has cracked the middle grade 3rd grade array Thousand Swords killing array. Array attainment gained 999 times the experience. Because the eye of the Thousand Swords killing array was under his feet and there was no sword aura above it, he and Li Yun were not injured. After cracking the Thousand Swords killing array, Ji said to Li Yun, I've cracked the array. Can you let go of me now? Hearing that, Li Yun realized that she was hugging Ji tightly because she was frightened by what just happened. This position, she instantly blushed and quickly let go of Ji. That was an accident, Li Yun said stubbornly. Ji couldn't be bothered with her. Instead, he turned to Li Yunhao and said, I've solved the problem. You should give me my reward, right? Of course. Hearing Ji's voice, Li Yunhao regained his senses and quickly replied, Young master, you can ask for whatever reward you want. As for the Black Cloud Stronghold's Fort Master and Vice Fort Master, after they reacted, they immediately rode their horses and fled in panic. What just happened really scared them. They didn't dare to stay here any longer. Moreover, there were only the two of them left. They couldn't fight at all. At the same time, Li Yun thought that Ji was referring to her. She immediately lowered her head shyly and nervously. Her hands clutched the corners of her clothes tightly. This guy doesn't seem to be that bad. If I have to marry this guy, it's not impossible. At this moment, Li Yun's thoughts were running wild. Her face was red and hot. She was in her teenage years. She even thought about getting married and having children in the future. Just give me some array formation materials, and that will do. Ji didn't want to ask for too much, so he said some things that he lacked. Chapter 453. Li Yunhao did not expect that the other party would only want the formation materials. Although Green Rock Town was relatively poor, They had spent a lot of effort and gold coins to collect a lot of formation materials in order to hire a formation master to deal with the Black Cloud stronghold. After all, the Black Cloud stronghold only had the stronghold leader and deputy leader left. Furthermore, he would soon break through to the mystic enlightenment state. Then, the Black Cloud stronghold would no longer be a threat to Green Rock Town. There was no need to keep the formation materials, so he might as well give them to this young master. When Li Yuner heard Ji Yu's words, she still did not know that Ji Yu was just joking. Or rather, she had been overwhelmed by her own thoughts and did not realize it at all. "Young master, please follow me." At this moment, Li Yunhao said respectfully to Ji Yu. Not only was this young master of the mystic enlightenment state, but he was also a formation master who could set up a third-grade formation. How could he not be respectful to such a terrifying young genius? Meanwhile, the others stared blankly at Ji Yu as she followed Li Yunhao. Even now, they had yet to recover from the shock. Ding! Host has taken a step. Mystic Class Superior Movement Technique Shadowless Lightning Flash has gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ding! Host has taken a step. Mystic Class Superior Movement Technique Shadowless Lightning Flash has gained experience. 1 by 999 times. A few minutes later, Ji Yu followed Li Yunhao to a warehouse in the residence. "These are the stocks of Green Rock Town. Take them as your payment." Li Yunhao said, "Young master, are you satisfied?" "Yes." Ji Yu nodded. He then put all the formation materials into his storage ring. Although the highest grade materials were only third-grade formation materials, and most of them were first-grade and second-grade formation materials, it was better than nothing. After putting away all the formation materials, Ji Yu brought Xiao Gu back to his room. He had a feeling that the purple-glazed eye was about to break through to the purple-glazed spirit transformation state. He wanted to successfully break through the purple-glazed eye here before leaving Green Rock Town. In his room, Ji Yu immediately started cultivating the purple-glazed eye. Ding! Host has read the Amethyst Pupil Cultivation Manual for 1 minute. Amethyst Pupil Experience gained. 1*999x. Ding! Host has read the Amethyst Pupil Cultivation Manual for 1 minute. Amethyst Pupil Experience gained. 1*999x. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully breaking through to the purple-glazed divinity transformation stage. Time passed quickly. After an unknown period of time, Ji Yu's amethyst eyes finally broke through to the 4th stage, the amethyst transformation. The violet iris in his eyes grew darker and darker. Ji Yu's vision also became clearer and wider. In fact, once the purple-glazed eye reached the purple-glazed god transformation stage, his eyes could release unpredictable spiritual attacks. This eye technique was called purple-glazed divine light. It was similar to the small golden sword. It was a beam of violet light that could instantly destroy an enemy's mental strength and willpower, causing them to lose their ability to fight. This also meant that in the future, Ji Yu would only need to use her eyes to defeat her opponent. He would be able to defeat all opponents below the Spirit Profound Realm with just her gaze. As for opponents of the Spirit Profound Realm, even if she couldn't defeat them in an instant, she could still cause quite a bit of interference and influence. This was a very practical ability. And the realm of purple-glazed divinity transformation was different from observing qi as real and seeing through illusion. There were a total of 5 stages. Ji Yu was only at the 1st stage. Every time the later stages increased, the power of the eye technique, purple-glazed divine light, would increase. However, Ji Yu did not plan to continue cultivating the amethyst eyes now, because the sky was already dark. After resting for the night, Ji Yu would leave Green Rock Town tomorrow. At this moment, Ji Yu used her soul force to sense that someone was outside the door. And this person was Li Yuner. At the same time, Li Yuner was indeed standing outside Ji Yu's door. And she was still walking back and forth. Before she came, she had already thought about it for a long time, and felt that she was mentally prepared to sacrifice herself. But when she walked here, she panicked again. But at this moment, the door in front of her suddenly opened. "What are you doing here?" Then came Ji Yu's voice. Li Yun-er jumped in fright. She stuttered incoherently. I'm here to fulfill my promise." "Fulfill what promise?" Ji Yu realized what Li Yun-er was talking about in the next second. "Oh, so you still care about that? That was just a joke. Although I did go overboard, I hope you don't take it to heart." "What?" Li Yun-er couldn't help but be stunned. "You said it was a joke?" "Yes." Ji Yu smiled awkwardly. "So you're saying that you were playing with me?" Li Yun-er asked with a complicated expression. She immediately felt very upset. Because of this, she had been conflicted for a long time. In the end, it was her own wishful thinking. At this moment, Li Yun-er couldn't help but feel a lump in her throat, and her eyes became a little red. Ji Yu was a little confused. How did it become him playing with her? She looked like she was about to cry. Shouldn't this be something to be happy about for Li Yun-er? Also, didn't he tell Li Yun-hao before? Why didn't he tell Li Yun-er? Seeing Ji Yu at a loss, Li Yun-er became even angrier. She made up her mind and shouted with a red face, "Whether it was a joke or not, you have to take responsibility for me. I, Li Yun-er, will marry you." "What the hell?" Ji Yu couldn't help but curse in his heart. He didn't expect that she would take it seriously. "This is going to be difficult for me." "Ji Yu, what do you mean by marry?" However, at this moment, Xiao Gu came over to join in the fun. For a moment, Ji Yu didn't know what to say. Ji Yu didn't answer for a long time, so Xiao Gu shook Ji Yu's hand. "Say it." After a while, although Xiao Gu didn't know what marry meant, she still said, "Even if you don't say it, I still want to marry you." She automatically understood that marry meant to get closer to Ji Yu. She didn't want to see other human women get closer to Ji Yu than she did. That would be unfair. Ji Yu only felt terrible. The current situation was already messy enough, but Xiao Gu wanted to interfere and make it even messier. "You're his sister. How can you marry him?" As expected, Li Yun-er couldn't help but say to Xiao Gu, "I don't care. I'm going to marry Ji Yu," Xiao Gu said firmly. Li Yun-er wanted to say something, but Ji Yu suddenly interrupted her. "Stop fooling around. I will take responsibility, but I can't do it now," Ji Yu continued. At this point, he could only accept it. He had to bear the consequences of his own joke. Chapter 454. Why? Li Yun-er asked immediately. "Because I have more important things to do, and I don't want to think about love for the time being," Ji Yu said, "and I have to tell you in advance that I'm already engaged." "She's engaged?" Li Yun-er suddenly looked stunned. "Yes, and it's a pair of sisters," Ji Yu said very seriously. At this moment, Li Yun-er could see that Ji Yu's eyes were shining with warmth and happiness. She couldn't help but slowly lower her head and be silent. "Although I'm not qualified, I still want to say that you'd better not be so impulsive and think carefully." At this time, Ji Yu said again, "Your mind may change in a year or two." He could see that she was obviously in puberty, and she was so emotional that she took the initiative. It was difficult for him to deal with her. Li Yun-er was silent for a moment and nodded. "I understand what you mean." She gradually calmed down. She was indeed a little impulsive. Moreover, Ji Yu was already engaged, and the fiancé was likely to be a pair of sisters with a huge background and extraordinary talent. In comparison, she was too far behind. But she would not give up easily. "That's it." At this time, Li Yun-er said, "If my mind hasn't changed in a year, I will come to you." "Well," Ji Yu replied softly. Then, Li Yun-er did not continue to stay and quickly went back. The next day, Ji Yu set off to leave Green Rock Town. At the back of Green Rock Town, Li Yun-hao, Li Yun-er and a group of people came to see Ji Yu off. Ji Gongzi, be careful on the way. Li Yunhao said goodbye. Although Li Yun did not speak, she watched Ji Yu leave, and her eyes were full of determination. No matter whether her mind would change in a year or not. From today on, she should work hard to make herself better. Li Yunhao didn't know that his daughter had secretly fallen in love with Ji Gongzi, so he didn't think much about it. But he still seemed preoccupied. At this moment, he suddenly said, Yun your mother will be back in a few days, really? Li Yun-er's mood instantly turned into surprise. For as long as she could remember, she had never seen her mother. She no longer had any impression of her mother. Soon, he would be able to see the mother he had been thinking about day and night. However, Li Yunhao's expression was somewhat heavy. At this moment, Ji Yu was looking at the map in her hand. This was a map of the entire Wanshan Empire. Now that they had passed through Green Rock Town, all they had to do was pass through the 10,000 Beast Mountain and they would arrive at the royal city of the Wanshan Empire. As its name suggested, the Wanshan Empire had many mountain ranges within its borders. The 10,000 Beast Mountain Range was the most dangerous mountain range. There were all kinds of poisonous insects and demonic beasts inside. Of course, there was no lack of treasures in this place. From the simple introduction on the map, one could understand that the 10,000 Beast Mountain was divided into two areas, the outer area and the inner area. Most of the demonic beasts in the outer region were rank 2 demonic beasts, and a small number of them were rank 3 demonic beasts. Rank 1 demonic beasts, on the other hand, were extremely rare. As for the inner area, most of the demonic beasts were of the 3rd rank. According to the map, there were 2 to 3/4 rank demonic beasts in the middle of the inner area, which was equivalent to a human being of the spirit profound realm. However, even so, in Ji Yu's eyes, this was like her own backyard. She could do whatever she wanted. Xiao Gu was by her side. No matter how many 4th rank demonic beasts there were in the inner area of the 10,000 Beast Mountain, they were no match for Xiao Gu. Not long after, Ji Yu and Xiao Gu entered the 10,000 Beast Mountain. Ji Yu's actions were very casual. Naturally, she was attacked by many demonic beasts along the way. However, most of them were of the 2nd rank. Ding! Host has swung her sword. Earth-class medium-level sword technique, brilliant sun in the sky, 2nd form. Experience gained, 1 by 999 times. Ding! Host has swung her sword. Earth-class medium-level sword technique, brilliant sun in the sky, 2nd form. Experience gained, 1 by 999 times. Ding! Congratulations host, Earth-class medium-level sword technique brilliant sun in the sky, 2nd form, has successfully broken through to the initial success stage. Against 2nd rank demonic beasts, Ji Yu did not need to use any sword technique. She could kill one with a swing of her sword. As for 3rd rank demonic beasts, it was not a big problem. Moreover, they were all 3rd rank demonic beasts with lower levels. At most, she could strike a few more times. Along the way, Ji Yu's sword technique had unknowingly broken through. Right at this moment, he suddenly sensed 3 people walking over from not far away. An old man with a cultivation of the 6th level of the Tongxian realm. There was also a young man and a young woman. The man was at the 9th level of the defensive profound realm, and the woman was at the 8th level of the defensive profound realm. Not only that, there seemed to be 2 2nd-rank demonic beasts following beside these 3 people. One was a 9th-level demonic beast, and the other was a 6th-level demonic beast. After casually sensing, Ji Yu did not pay any more attention to them. He continued to walk forward. This was one of the fastest shortcuts through the 10,000 Beast Mountain. It didn't take long for the 3 people that Ji Yu had sensed earlier to appear before him. The 3 people opposite him also noticed Ji Yu. He saw an ordinary-looking black-clothed youth with a strange-looking little girl. The young woman among them was about to go up and say something. "Mind your own business." However, the old man stopped the young woman. The young woman could only give up. She thought that the youth and the little girl had gotten lost nearby, so she wanted to bring the pair of siblings out of the 10,000 Beast Mountain. However, she did not dare to disobey the elder's orders. "Elder, please wait a moment." Right at this moment, the other young man whispered to the elder. Greed and excitement flashed in his eyes. He was mesmerized by the little girl's beauty at first glance. "Chi Dongjun, what are you doing?" The elder frowned slightly. In the next moment, he saw Chi Dongjun's eyes and understood. He could not help but shake his head slightly. A genius was indeed a genius. It was just that his hobbies were a bit perverted. However, this had nothing to do with him. He only needed to protect this beast-taming genius that even the dean valued. The elder did not say anything else and allowed Chi Dongjun to leave. Seeing this, the young woman bit her lower lip lightly but did not dare to say anything. At the same time, Ji-yu heard the conversation between the elder and the young man and immediately turned around. "Chi Dongjun? Oh? Kid, you actually know me?" Chi Dongjun said in surprise. "That old dog Chi Xiang is your father, right?" Ji-yu narrowed his eyes and asked indifferently. Hearing this, Chi Dongjun's eyes turned cold and he said with a gloomy expression, "Kid, do you know who you are talking to?" But in the next moment, he suddenly felt a heavy blow to his abdomen. Before the pain came, he heard the youth's voice in his ear. "Do you need me to ask again?" Chapter 455. Cough! Chi Dongjun couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. A tearing pain came from his abdomen. He knelt on the ground uncontrollably and covered his abdomen with both hands. He had almost lost his ability to think. His mind was in a mess. "Who are you?" Only then did the old man realize what had happened. He immediately exclaimed in shock. He was frightened by this youth's terrifying speed. He didn't even see the youth's movements clearly. The young woman was so frightened that she couldn't speak. "I didn't ask you." Ji-yu didn't even turn his head and just said lightly. The old man didn't know what to do and could only say, "Chi Xiang is his father. Young hero, don't be agitated. Let's talk nicely." Hearing this, Ji-yu didn't hesitate to pull out cold blade and stab it into Chi Dongjun's heart. Ding! Host has stabbed. Earth-class medium-level sword technique, brilliant sun in the sky, second form. Experience gained, 1 by 999 times. Chi Dongjun was dead. Dongjun. The old man couldn't believe that the other party killed Chi Dongjun without saying anything. Once Chi Dongjun was dead, that second-class 9th-rank demon beast instantly lost control and pounced at Ji-yu. Obviously, this was a demon beast that Chi Dongjun had tamed. However, Ji-yu didn't even dodge. He directly faced the demon beast with his sword. Ding! Host has stabbed. Earth-class medium-level sword technique, brilliant sun in the sky, second form. Experience gained, 1 by 999 times. In the next moment, that second-class 9th-rank demon beast also died under Ji-yu's sword. After that, Ji-yu couldn't be bothered with the old man and the young woman. After killing Chi Dongjun, he turned and left. "Stop right there." The old man was furious. "You want to leave after killing someone from the Royal Academy? Don't force me to send you on your way." Ji-yu looked back and said coldly. The cold light in his eyes made the old man's heart tremble. He was stunned and didn't dare to speak anymore. The young woman was scared out of her wits. The old man could only stare blankly at the youth in black leaving with the little girl. Only when the black-clothed youth's figure completely disappeared in the distance did he dare to move. The old man went forward to take Chi Dongjun's corpse and said to the young woman behind him, "Xiaofang, draw a portrait of that young man when you go back. He killed Chi Dongjun, the dean will definitely not let him go." Although the young woman who was replaced by Xiaofang was unwilling, she still nodded and replied, "Yes." She had always felt that Chi Dongjun was not a good person, especially this time when Chi Dongjun had thoughts about a little girl, which made her feel even more disgusted. However, she couldn't disobey the elder's orders. Furthermore, she had sensed that the young man had no intention of attacking her. She only hoped that the young man would not be discovered in the royal city. "Let's go." After keeping Qi Dongjuan's body, the old man said. At this moment, he looked deeply in the direction that the youth had left in. That young man was able to make Qi Dongjuan, who was at the 9th level of the defensive profound realm, feel that he must be a Tongxian expert like him. As for his specific strength, he shouldn't be stronger than him. He was just fooled just now. The next time they met, he would definitely capture that brat alive. The most important thing was that Qi Dongjun had been killed this time. The dean would definitely be furious when he found out. Qi Dongjun was a rare beast-taming genius that only appeared once in 100 years, and was even appointed as the next vice-dean by the dean. His death was a big deal. He still had to think about how to explain it to the dean when he returned. At this moment, Ji Yu had already entered the inner area. He only knew that he was now in the inner area, but he didn't know where exactly. In any case, as long as he kept walking forward, he would be able to pass through the 10,000 Beast Mountain. After reaching the inner region, the number of demonic beast attacks that Ji Yu suffered was significantly less. This wasn't because the number of beasts in the inner area had decreased. It was because the third-rank beasts all had a bit of intelligence. They could sense that Ji Yu had killed many of their kind along the way and knew that this human youth was not someone to be trifled with. Most of them would choose to avoid him. Of course, there would always be some third-rank beasts who didn't care about their lives and ran over to attack Ji Yu. They were all easily dealt with by Ji Yu. Therefore, Ji Yu's speed in the inner area had increased. Unknowingly, Ji Yu had reached the centermost area of the inner area. At the same time, he also felt that the surrounding demonic aura had indeed become much denser. Ding. The host has been eroded by demonic aura, gold-level spirit experience gained. 1 by 999 times. Ding. The host has been eroded by demonic aura, gold-level spirit experience gained. 1 by 999 times. In fact, Ji Yu even sensed that. There were 3 demonic beasts whose demonic power had reached the 4th stage in the vicinity, and they were approaching him. Through the perception of his soul power, Ji Yu could specifically sense that these 3 4th-rank beasts' demon power levels were all at the 1st or 2nd rank of the 4th rank. Just based on their demon power levels, they didn't pose any threat to him. Ji Yu continued to walk forward unhurriedly as if nothing had happened. "Bold human, how dare you trespass into our territory?" At this moment, an abnormally large demon wolf with a ferocious ghost face appeared in front of Ji Yu. When a demon beast's demon power level reached the 4th rank, it could imitate human speech. This was obviously one of the 3 4th-rank beasts that Ji Yu had just sensed. Immediately after, the other 2 4th-rank beasts also appeared. A total of 3 4th-rank beasts surrounded Ji Yu. In front of these 3 beasts, Ji Yu seemed very small. "I'm just passing by here. I didn't mean to disturb you." However, Ji Yu's expression was still calm as he spoke calmly. As long as the beasts didn't provoke him, he didn't need to kill them casually. "You killed so many of our compatriots, and you still dare to say that it was unintentional?" The ghost-faced demon wolf said angrily. "That's because they wanted to attack me. It's up to you to believe it or not." Ji Yu said somewhat helplessly, "If you really want to fight, then try it with her." As Ji Yu's sole contract partner, Ji Yu didn't need to say anything. Xiao Gu understood Ji Yu's intentions. She opened her bone wings and didn't transform back into her original form. She only released her dragon power. This is. Faced with the suppression of the dragon power, the 3 4th-rank beasts couldn't help but lie on the ground. Especially that aura that was infinitely close to the 6th-rank demon power level, they didn't dare to move at all. They didn't dare to believe that the little girl beside this human youth was actually a 5th-rank 9th heaven demon power existence. And it was a species that they had never seen before. It gave them an unknown fear that came from the depths of their souls. "All right," Ji Yu said calmly, and Xiao Gu retracted her dragon power and bone wings. Even without the suppression of the unknown power, the 3 4th-rank beasts still didn't dare to move. They were afraid that the other party would tear them apart in a fit of anger. What surprised them the most was that that existence seemed to completely listen to this human youth. "Let's go." After that, Ji Yu continued to walk forward calmly. Xiao Gu nodded slightly and held Ji Yu's hand. Until Ji Yu and Xiao Gu completely left, the 3 4th-rank beasts didn't dare to move at all. Chapter 456. Ding. Host has used Shadowless Lightning Flash. Shadowless Lightning Flash has gained 999 times the experience. Ding. Host has used Shadowless Lightning Flash. Shadowless Lightning Flash has gained 999 times the experience. After leaving the center of the inner area, Ji Yu immediately used his movement technique to increase his speed. With his superior Earth-rank movement technique, he quickly left the 10,000 Beast Mountain. When he came out, Ji Yu's celestial chi was almost depleted. He immediately took out a 4th-rank pill that could restore celestial chi from his storage ring and swallowed it. Ding. Host has consumed a 4th-rank recovery pill. Celestial chi recovery effect has increased by 999 times. Under the effect of the 999 times increase, Ji Yu quickly recovered the celestial chi in his body. After that, Ji Yu followed the route on the map and continued on his way to the royal city. Ding. Host has used Shadowless Lightning Flash. Shadowless Lightning Flash has gained 999 times the experience. Ding. Host has used Shadowless Lightning Flash. Shadowless Lightning Flash has gained 999 times the experience. Ding. Congratulations, Host. The superior Earth-rank movement technique, Shadowless Lightning Flash, has successfully broken through to the perfection stage. Ji Yu used his movement technique again and arrived at the royal city with Xiao Gu. When they arrived at the royal city of the Wan Shan Empire again, it was already late. Ji Yu randomly found a restaurant to rest. After dinner, he followed Xiao Gu into his room. "Ji Yu, I'm going to sleep first." After that, Xiao Gu lay on the bed and went to sleep. Ji Yu didn't need to sleep so early. He planned to cultivate the purple glazed eyes first. Ding. Host has read the Purple Glazed Eyes Cultivation Manual for 1 minute. Purple Glazed Eyes has gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Host has read the Purple Glazed Eyes Cultivation Manual for 1 minute. Purple Glazed Eyes has gained experience. 1 by 999 times. However, the Purple Glazed Eyes had already reached the Purple Glazed God transformation stage, so it naturally couldn't break through to the second stage so quickly. When it was late at night, Ji Yu fell asleep. The next day, Ji Yu was woken up by Xiao Gu early in the morning, asking for candy. After giving her the candy, he washed up briefly and went downstairs for breakfast. However, when he arrived downstairs and sat in his seat, he noticed that more and more people were looking at him with strange eyes. He couldn't help but be a little concerned. Then, he carefully observed them. Only then did he realize that there was a portrait of himself pasted on the wall. The painting was very detailed. Although it was not exactly the same, it was very similar. However, this was a bounty, and it was released by the Royal Academy of the Wan Shan Empire. Ji Yu didn't even need to think about it. It was definitely because she killed that Qi Dongjun at the 10,000 Beast Mountain yesterday. At this time, there were already quite a few people who had left in a hurry. Obviously, they were all rushing to inform the Royal Academy of the Wan Shan Empire, and then they would be rewarded handsomely. Ji Yu was too lazy to care. He didn't care if those people went to report. After all, even if the headmaster of the Royal Academy of the Wanshan Empire came to him personally, there was nothing he could do to him. Ji acted as if nothing had happened and calmly ate his breakfast. Even the waiter who delivered the breakfast couldn't help but look at Ji strangely a few times. This kid had a bounty on his head by the Royal Academy, how could he eat here? At the same time, the people around them were also discussing. Why did the Royal Academy put a bounty on this kid? What could this kid have done? Do you know the beast-taming genius from the Royal Academy, Qi Dongjun? I heard that this kid killed that Qi Dongjun, so the Royal Academy put a bounty on him. Are you for real? I remember that Qi Dongjun was a genius at LV9 Defensive Profound Realm, and he had a very high talent for taming beasts. Together with the beasts, he could barely fight against a LV1 Tongxian expert. How could he be killed by this kid? If it's true, then it's incredible. This kid is at least a Tongxian expert. His martial arts talent is comparable to the Crown Prince, right? The Crown Prince they were talking about was the first prince of the Wanshan Empire royal family. At the same time, he was also the #1 prodigy of the Wanshan Empire. His cultivation was at LV2 Tongxian, and his beast-taming talent was no weaker than Qi Dongjuan's. He was directly appointed as the next king of the Wanshan Empire. That was why he was called the Crown Prince. No matter how the people around him talked, Ji continued to eat his breakfast quietly. After breakfast, Ji left the restaurant with Xiao Gu. Ding. Host has used spiritual perception, soul power gained experience points. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Host has used spiritual perception, soul power gained experience points. 1 by 999 times. However, not long after leaving the restaurant, he felt that a few people were following him. If he wasn't wrong, they should be the people sent by the Royal Academy of the Wanshan Empire. Jiu's lips curled up. He suddenly quickened his pace and walked into a small alley with Xiao Gu. The 3 men who were tailing Jiu also hurriedly caught up with them. When they reached the alley, they saw Jiu turn a corner and followed. However, at the corner, the figure of the youth in black suddenly appeared in front of them. You're from the Royal Academy of the Wanshan Empire, right? Jiu asked. He wasn't in a hurry to attack. The 3 of them were frightened. One of them was so scared that he fell on his butt. Ouch, that hurts. No, we're not from the Royal Academy. One of them hurriedly explained, we're from the Jade Spirit sect. We're here to help you on the orders of the sect leader. Jiu then noticed that the 3 people were all women, and their cultivations weren't even Tongxian experts. Moreover, they weren't wearing the uniform of the Royal Academy of the Wanshan Empire. As for the Jade Spirit sect, he had seen it on the map. The Wanshan Empire seemed to have 2 major cultivation factions. One was the Royal Academy of the Wanshan Empire, and the other was the Jade Spirit sect. The Royal Academy of the Wanshan Empire was backed by the royal family, and the Jade Spirit sect seemed to only accept female disciples. The overall strength and background of the Jade Spirit sect were naturally much weaker than the Royal Academy. I'm in a good mood today, so I won't pursue the matter of you following me. Go back to wherever you came from. Jiu said casually. Wait. The leader of the women said, we can help you get rid of the Royal Academy, as long as you, however, before the woman could finish, Jiu interrupted her. Don't get it wrong. I don't need your so-called help. I'm already being nice by not pursuing the matter. Chapter 457. After he finished speaking, Jiu no longer paid any attention to the 3 of them. He turned around and left with Xiao Gu. The 3 Jade Spirit sect disciples didn't know if they should continue to chase after them. Senior sister, what should we do now? Yeah, what should we do? The 2 younger female disciples asked one after another. Seeing that they don't welcome us, it might backfire if we continue to follow them. To be safe, let's go back for now. As for the sect master, I'll talk to him. The woman who was addressed as senior sister, who was the leader, said. Now that the entire city had put a bounty on him, Ji was still brazenly walking on the streets without a trace of concealment. He didn't care about the people from the Royal Academy of the Wanshan Empire. Not to mention the Royal Academy. There might not even be a spirit profound realm expert in the entire Wanshan Empire. Even if there were, they couldn't do anything to Ji. That was why he could be so brazen. However, not long after, a group of guards appeared in front of Ji. They were the patrol team in charge of patrolling the royal city. He's Ji, go and capture him. A middle-aged man who seemed to be the patrol team leader shouted. The group of guards all surrounded Ji. Ji glanced at them and found that they were all in the defensive profound realm. The patrol team leader with the highest cultivation was only at the second level of the enlightening profound realm. She didn't know where these guys got the courage to capture her. Many passers-by were shocked by this scene. Most of them left in a hurry. However, there were always some brave people who didn't hide and even came to watch. What's going on? Look at that young man in black. Doesn't he look similar to the portrait on the bounty poster? This kid has a bounty on his head, but he still dares to walk on the streets like this. He's really not afraid of death. It's too late for him to regret now. Those people watched from the side and started whispering to each other. Brat, surrender obediently. At this moment, the patrol team leader said to Ji. Ji didn't even bother to say anything. She made the first move. Ding. Host has swung his sword once. Earth rank medium level sword art brilliant sun in the sky, second style. Experience gained. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Host has swung his sword once. Earth rank medium level sword art brilliant sun in the sky, second style. Experience gained. 1 by 999 times. In less than 3 seconds, Ji seemed to have pulled out countless swords. The group of guards fell to the ground with miserable screams. In fact, Ji's sword didn't hit the vital parts of these people. She just made them lose their ability to move. In the blink of an eye, the patrol captain was the only one left standing in the group. He stood rooted to the ground, his face filled with disbelief as he watched everything unfold before him. He remembered that Ji's cultivation was clearly at LV1 of the Tongxian realm. How could she be so strong? Even he, who was at the second LV of Tongxian realm, could not see Ji's movements clearly. This young man's strength was definitely above the first LV of Tongxian realm. The only thing he could think of was that he had been fooled. This extremely shocking scene also caused the surrounding people who were gossiping to instantly shut their mouth. Do you need me to make a few cuts on your body too? At this moment, Ji's gaze turned to the patrol leader. The patrol leader's face instantly darkened. He was the patrol leader, but he could do nothing about it when he was looked down upon by a junior. He was conflicted whether he should flee or fight to the death. I'll give you 10 seconds to disappear from my sight. Ji said indifferently. Stop. But at this moment, a clear and cold voice suddenly came from behind them. Looking in the direction of the voice, they saw a young lady with fair skin and a frosty expression wearing green armor. Even the armor couldn't hide her impressive figure. She exuded a unique aura. Commander Ning. Seeing the green-armored lady, the patrol leader was overjoyed. Commander? Hearing that, Ji sized up the green-armored lady. She looked to be in her early 20s, but her cultivation had reached the second LV of Tongxian realm. Compared to the average person, her talent was quite good. Behind the green-armored woman, there were also many elite guards. Their cultivation was at least at the 9th LV of defensive profound realm. Those elite guards chased away the surrounding onlookers. When there were no more onlookers, Ning Qingzhu opened her mouth and said, Next, you guys tell me clearly what happened just now. The patrol leader was about to speak, but Ji beat him to it. They attacked me first. I was just defending myself. Ji said directly. Is it true? Ning Qingzhu asked the patrol leader coldly. The patrol leader broke out in cold sweat. After hesitating for a while, he could only nod and say, yes. He did not dare to fabricate the truth in front of Ning Qingzhu. Not only was Ning Qingzhu the general's daughter, but there were so many ordinary people watching. If he fabricated the truth, he would be exposed when Ning Qingzhu asked any ordinary person. Seeing that the patrol leader nodded, Ning Qingzhu ordered her subordinates without any change in expression, take them back. Why? The patrol leader was shocked. At the same time, he could not accept it. Why are you only arresting us and not that guy? That young man had a bounty on his head, and the patrol team was only following the rules. He did not mind being arrested, but it was unacceptable that only the patrol team was arrested. The Royal Academy issued the bounty, and it has nothing to do with the general's residence. Speaking of this, Ning Qingzhu glanced at Ji. In my eyes, he is innocent. You attacked him first. According to the rules of the royal city, you are all guilty. Hearing Ning Qingzhu's words, the patrol leader was in despair. He had forgotten that the general's residence did not have much interaction with the Royal Academy. Moreover, Commander Ning was impartial and never gave anyone any face. He had no choice but to accept his fate. Chapter 458. After that, the elite guards took the patrol team away. Ji held Xiao Gu's hand and prepared to leave. However, he was stopped by Ning Qingzhu. Wait! Is there anything else? Ji turned around and asked. Did you really kill that Qi Dongjun? Ning Qingzhu asked. That's right. Ji nodded slightly. I just want to advise you to leave the royal city as soon as possible. Otherwise, the Royal Academy and some people in the royal palace won't let you go, Ning Qingzhu said. As for what happened just now, I'll settle it, but I'm just doing my duty. I don't want to help you. She didn't know Ji cultivation level, and she didn't care. She only reminded him out of goodwill because the general's residence had always been at odds with the Royal Academy. Now, whether this young man lived or died had nothing to do with her. I know, Ji said casually. He couldn't be bothered to continue this nonsense. After that, he left. He walked in the direction of the Royal Academy of the Wanshan Empire. Ji only wanted to kill that scumbag Qi Dongjun on the way. He didn't want to do anything to the Royal Academy of the Wanshan Empire. However, the Royal Academy put up a bounty so quickly. He had to make the Royal Academy pay a little price. Xiao Gu didn't need to ask to know what Ji was thinking. She didn't say anything and just ate her candy quietly. Ding! Host has taken a step. Earth rank superior movement technique, Shadowless Thunder Flash gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ding! Host has taken a step. Earth rank superior movement technique, Shadowless Thunder Flash gained experience. 1 by 999 times. The Royal Academy of the Wanshan Empire wasn't very far away. Before long, Ji arrived at the gates of the Royal Academy. The student guarding the gates of the Royal Academy of the Wanshan Empire sensed that someone was coming in and wanted to confirm his identity. In the next second, he was stunned. Why did this young man in front of him look so similar to the drawing on the bounty poster that the dean put up? But he wasn't 100% sure, so he tried asking, "Who are you?" At this time, Ji tore down a bounty poster and said to the student guarding the door, "Who posted this bounty poster?" As expected, you are Ji, right? The gatekeeper said in a deep voice. At this time, some students walked out of the academy. They seemed to be going out to carry out missions. When they saw Ji, they were also stunned. Isn't this the Ji on the bounty poster? They really look alike. Why did he come to our Royal Academy? Is he here to die? Ha ha, he was probably frightened by the bounty and came here to beg for mercy. The students began to discuss amongst themselves. But Ji didn't care. Yes, it's me. He ignored everyone around him and said to the gatekeeper indifferently, Now, can you answer my question? The gatekeeper hesitated for a moment and said, It was our dean who posted the bounty. What can you do even if you know? The bounty poster stated that GU was above Tier 1 of the enlightening mystic realm. He was only at the defensive mystic realm, so he couldn't fight against this GU. The elders and dean weren't here either. He could only go with the flow for now. What can I do? You'll know soon enough. GU smiled faintly. Tell your dean to scram out here. I'll wait here. The student guarding the door was stunned. He didn't expect GU to be so arrogant. His eyes darkened, then he signaled to the students who were watching the show. Immediately, a few students secretly went to find the dean. Not long after, a dignified and handsome middle-aged man and 6 old men arrived. Are you the one who killed our student Chi Dongjun? The middle-aged man questioned GU in a condescending tone. This middle-aged man was the dean of the Royal Academy of the Wanshan Empire, Wu Lang. The other 6 elders were probably the 6 elders of the Royal Academy of the Wanshan Empire. Chi Dongjun deserved to die. GU's expression didn't change as he said coldly, And you'll have to pay a price today. No matter who you are, I won't let you off easily for daring to behave so atrociously in the Royal Academy. Wu Lang's eyes turned cold as he prepared to attack. Initially, he was still worried that GU might have some sort of powerful backing, so he only issued a bounty and did not kill her. But now that this brat had stepped on his head, he couldn't care less anymore. GU couldn't help but smile. This guy was only at the peak of Tier 9 of the enlightening mystic realm, yet he wanted to fight him. Ignorant fool. As soon as he finished speaking, GU's figure disappeared on the spot. Ding. Host has performed Shadowless Thunder Flash. Superior Earth rank Shadowless Thunder Flash obtained 999 times proficiency experience. Ding. Host has performed Brilliant Sun in the Sky, 2nd style. Brilliant Sun in the Sky, 2nd style obtained 999 times proficiency experience. Ding. Host has activated 70% Sword Dao True Meaning. 70% Sword Dao True Meaning has gained 999 times experience. GU flashed in front of Wu Lang and instantly performed the intermediate Earth rank sword technique, Brilliant Sun in the Sky, 2nd style. To put it simply, this was another form of attack. Although the range of this sword technique couldn't be compared to a normal attack, its power, accuracy, and speed were all greatly increased. In addition to 70% Sword Dao True Meaning. 1 slash to the throat. Before Wu Lang could react, his head was gone. The terrifying power of GU's instantaneous slash turned Wu Lang's head into ashes, leaving no trace behind. What was even more surprising was that Wu Lang's body didn't move at all under such terrifying power. It was enough to see how accurate and fast GU's slash was. After killing Wu Lang, GU still didn't give up. After a few slashes, he killed the 6 elders as well. Ding. Host has performed Brilliant Sun in the Sky, 2nd style. Brilliant Sun in the Sky, 2nd style obtained 999 times proficiency experience. Ding. Host has activated 70% Sword Dao True Meaning. 70% Sword Dao True Meaning has gained 999 times experience. Ding. Congratulations, Host. The intermediate Earth rank sword technique, Brilliant Sun in the Sky, 2nd style has successfully broken through to the mastery stage. This time, GU didn't perform it instantaneously. Instead, he used the normal attack form and slashed out a golden sword wave. The 6 elders were all swallowed up by this golden sword wave in fear and despair. After killing these 7 people, GU turned and left with Xiao Gu. He didn't plan to destroy the entire Royal Academy, because there was no need to. When the normal students regained their senses, GU had already disappeared. today. All the higher-ups of the Wan Shan Empire Royal Academy, including the Dean and the 6 elders, were all killed in less than 2 seconds. For a moment, the entire Wan Shan Empire Royal Academy was shrouded in endless fear. Chapter 459. In a certain restaurant, at a certain table, a few people were talking to each other. Have you heard? The person that the Royal Academy put a bounty on killed the principal and 6 elders of the Royal Academy yesterday. I heard about it too. That's King terrifying. I heard that he's a young man who's not even 18 years old yet. Young man? That's impossible. The principal of the Royal Academy is at least a Tier 9 Tongxian martial artist, and he has a Tier 3 Tier 9 demonic beast accompanying him. In our Wanshan Empire, other than the king of Wanshan and the great general, no one can win against the principal. That's true. I feel that the young man must have a master who's a hidden almighty. That makes sense. I think so too. It was written on the bounty poster that the young man is a Tongxian realm expert. It's not strange for him to have a hidden expert behind him. It can only be said that the Royal Academy is too unlucky to have provoked such an existence. Let's go take a look at that portrait. Don't be unable to recognize Ji-Yu when we meet him. Just as they were talking animatedly, their voices suddenly stopped. The reason for that was because they saw that youngster by the name of Ji-Yu walking in from outside. In order to save their lives, they quickly shut their mouth. Their legs were trembling, and their bodies were stiff as they sat there. Not only this table, the people at the other tables also noticed Ji-Yu. The entire first floor of the restaurant was so quiet that one could hear a pin drop. Seeing this, Ji-Yu was speechless. He wasn't a murderous demon. Was there a need to be so scared? As long as they didn't provoke him for no reason, he never liked to take the initiative to kill. Ji-Yu, they were talking about you just now. Just then, Xiaogu suddenly spoke. With her ability, she could hear the voices from the restaurant from far away. When she said that, everyone around her trembled violently. They instantly broke down. How did this little girl hear it? Not only did she hear it, she even said it at this time. She was asking for their lives. Now, everyone was on tenterhooks. They were very afraid that Ji-Yu would kill them all in a fit of anger. Don't worry about them, Ji-Yu said casually. Then, he took Xiaogu upstairs to his room. After that, everyone present let out a huge sigh of relief. Fortunately, the other party didn't care about them. After that, some people hurriedly finished their food and drinks, and some people even paid the bill and hurriedly left. They didn't dare to stay here any longer. The restaurant owner's mood was even worse than if he had eaten an Oreo. If news of Ji-Yu staying in his restaurant spread out, no one would dare to come here. His business would become extremely bleak. However, he did not dare to ask Ji-Yu to leave this place. Even the principal and 6 elders of the Royal Academy had been killed by Ji-Yu. It would be a piece of cake for her to destroy his restaurant. Half a day passed. Inside the room, Ji-Yu was cultivating the amethyst pupils. Ding. Host has read the Amethyst Pupil Cultivation Manual for 1 minute. Amethyst Pupil Experience gained. 1*999x. Ding. Host has read the Amethyst Pupil Cultivation Manual for 1 minute. Amethyst Pupil Experience gained. 1*999x. After killing the principal and 6 elders of the Royal Academy yesterday, Ji-Yu did not do anything else. She directly returned to her room and began to cultivate the amethyst pupil. In addition, she had spent half a day today. The amethyst pupil's amethyst transformation stage had finally reached the 2nd stage. The eye technique, amethyst divine light, and the amethyst pupil had all been strengthened. Until now, Ji-Yu had not tried out the power of the amethyst divine light eye technique. Yesterday, the principal and 6 elders of the Royal Academy were too weak. She could kill them easily without using the amethyst divine light. She could only wait until she had the chance to find an opponent of the spirit profound realm. At that time, she would test the power of this eye technique. When that time came, she was sure that it would not disappoint her. Now, there was nothing else to do in the Wanshan Empire. Jiyu felt that it was about time to leave the Wanshan Empire. She headed to the next empire. Based on the geography of the southern region, Jiyu should be heading to the Pajuan Empire. Speaking of this empire, she thought of the two sisters, Cheng Yeye and Cheng Jiangjiang. After packing her things, Jiyu set off with Xiao Gu. Seeing Jiyu check out, the restaurant owner was overjoyed. He was still worried about what to do. But just as Jiyu was about to walk out of the restaurant, the commander and a group of elite guards appeared in front of her again. What is the meaning of this? Jiyu frowned slightly. We are under the orders of the king of Wanshan to invite you to the palace, Ning Qingzhu said. Her tone was much more respectful than the first time they met. After all, this young man in front of her was the one who killed the principal and 6 elders of the Royal Academy. No matter whether it was caused by him or a powerful figure behind the scenes, she had to be careful. Invite me. Jiyu shook her head expressionlessly. I'm not interested. It was probably because she had attacked the Royal Academy of the Wanshan Empire, and the king of Wanshan could not sit still. After all, it was the Royal Academy, and it definitely had a lot to do with the royal family. Don't be in a hurry to reject, young master. Ning Qingzhu was not surprised by Jiyu's reply. The king of Wanshan has no ill intentions towards you. He just wants to be on good terms with you. Be on good terms with me? Jiyu thought about it. If he really wanted to be on good terms with me, that's not bad. I'll get some good stuff then. As for whether the king of Wanshan had any ulterior motives, Jiyu did not care. After all, with his current strength, he had nothing to fear in the Wanshan Empire. Even if something went wrong, Xiao Gu could sweep everything away. In such a situation where there was no danger, he could go and take a look. If he could get some good stuff that he needed and lacked, that would be good. In essence, Jiyu's main idea was to get some good stuff from the palace. Then take me there. At this moment, Jiyu said. Okay. Ning Qingzhu nodded. Chapter 460. Wanshan Empire inside the palace. Many officials stood on both sides, and a middle-aged man in a golden dragon robe sat on the throne. As Ning Qingzhu led Jiyu here, the middle-aged man walked down from the throne. His majestic gait was dignified, and his thick eyebrows added a sense of heroism to his face. This man in the dragon robe was naturally the current king of Wanshan Empire, Ning Shanha. Is this young hero Jiyu? Ning Shanha personally came down to welcome him. I'm Jiyu. Greetings, King of Wanshan. Jiyu said frankly. You don't have to be so polite. Ning Shanha did not put on any airs and said calmly, I have a request for you this time. A request for me? Jiyu was slightly confused. Not only did he not mind what he did to the Royal Academy of Wanshan Empire, but he also had a request for him. Was this king of Wanshan really so kind? I've heard about your deeds in the Kanglan Empire, so I know you're an alchemist. Ning Shanha said, This time, we also want to ask you, or the mysterious Almighty behind you, to help us refine a pill. Even the king of myriad mountains, Ning Shanha, thought that Jiyu must have a mysterious Almighty backing her. As he spoke, Ning Shanha glanced at the little girl beside Jiyu. He felt that this little girl was a little strange, but he was doing something very important now, so he was not in the mood to pay attention to her. What pill? Jiyu immediately asked. He did not expect the king of Wanshan to specifically inquire about his deeds in the Kanglan Empire. As for the mysterious Almighty, he was too lazy to explain, so he pretended not to hear. A 5th-grade pill, the Breakthrough Spirit Pill. Ning Shanha said solemnly. The Breakthrough Spirit Pill. Jiyu knew about this pill. The Breakthrough Spirit Pill was a top-notch pill among the 5th-grade pills. It could improve a martial cultivator's celestial chi, mental strength, and soul strength to a certain extent, and was most suitable for breaking through to the spirit profound realm. With his current level of alchemy, he could indeed refine the spirit breakthrough pill. Does the king of Wanshan want to use the spirit breakthrough pill to break through to the spirit profound realm? Jiyu asked casually. He could tell at a glance that King Wanshan's cultivation had reached peak LV9 Tongxian realm. After taking the spirit breakthrough pill, there would be a greater chance of breaking through to the spirit profound realm. At the same time, he seemed to have understood something. When he first came to the Wanshan Empire, a bunch of alchemists wanted to come to the Wanshan Empire. The reason why the Wanshan Empire wanted to gather so many alchemists was probably because of this. Cultivating a group of alchemists, there would always be one or two who would stand out. He was betting on his luck. That's not the case. Ning Shanhe shook his head. This is for my father. He has been in seclusion for many years, and is only half a step away from breaking through to the spirit profound realm. Ning Shanhe's father was naturally the former king of Wanshan. Hearing this, Jiyu basically understood. He didn't ask any more questions and directly said, "Then, if I help you refine the spirit breakthrough pill, what benefits will it bring me?" "Of course, there will be many benefits," Ning Shanhe said. "If you succeed, you can enter my palace's treasure vault and choose any 3 treasures. Are you satisfied?" "Sure." Jiyu wasn't greedy and gladly accepted Ning Shanhe's conditions. "Then, I'll have to trouble you to invite that mysterious Almighty," Ning Shanhe said. "What mysterious Almighty? He doesn't exist." Jiyu was really helpless. "If you have prepared the materials for the spirit breakthrough pill, I can refine it for you now." "Huh?" Ning Shanhe couldn't help but be stunned. This young hero didn't have a mysterious almighty backing him, and he even said that he wanted to refine the spirit breakthrough pill himself. However, Ning Shanhe was the ruler of a country and immediately regained his senses. "Sorry, I lost my composure." Ning Shanhe smiled awkwardly. "We have already prepared the materials for the spirit breakthrough pill. Young hero, please follow me." Although he didn't quite believe that this young man had the alchemy skills to refine the spirit breakthrough pill, he had to try no matter what. Jiyu didn't say anything and followed Ning Shanhe's footsteps with Xiao Gu. Meanwhile, Ning Qingzhu was still standing in the same spot, waiting quietly. Because she didn't have the qualifications to follow. Ding. Host has taken a step. Earth-grade upper-level movement technique, Shadowless Thunder Flash, has gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Host has taken a step. Earth-grade upper-level movement technique, Shadowless Thunder Flash, has gained experience. 1 by 999 times. At this moment, Jiyu followed Ning Shanhe to a secret chamber. To be precise, it should be an alchemy chamber. Walking into the alchemy chamber, a natural fragrance assailed their nostrils. All kinds of alchemy materials were neatly arranged around. There was a high-quality alchemy furnace in front of them. One look and one could tell that it was very expensive. "This is the alchemy chamber that I sent people to build previously. I guarantee that you won't be affected by anything and can refine pills in peace," Ning Shanhe introduced. "Okay." Jiyu nodded. "Go ahead, young hero." With that, Ning Shanhe left, leaving Jiyu to refine pills in the alchemy chamber. That was because he knew that the breakthrough spirit pill was a top-notch pill among the 5th-grade pills. It would take at least 3 to 5 days to refine. He still had many complicated things to deal with. He couldn't keep waiting for Jiyu here. At this moment, Jiyu had already started to choose the alchemy materials. In the process of choosing the materials, he realized that Ning Shanhe had prepared 5 sets of materials for the breakthrough spirit pill, probably for safety reasons. Jiyu thought about it for a moment and decided to pick out the 5 portions. Although he only needed one set of materials to refine the breakthrough spirit pill because there was no chance of failure, he could still use the remaining 4 sets for himself. Anyway, as long as he didn't say anything, no one would know except for Xiao Gu. After that, Gu used the alchemy furnace here to start refining pills. Ding! Detected that the host has started to refine the 5th grade pill breakthrough spirit pill. The success rate of refining pills has increased by 999 times. Ding! The host has used the mystical spirit fire seal. The mystical spirit fire seal has gained 999 times the experience of proficiency. Ding! Congratulations to the host. The 4th grade inferior alchemy hand seal, mystical spirit fire seal, has successfully broken through to the impeccable refinement realm. Chapter 461. With the help of the 999 times success rate, there was almost no possibility of Gu failing. Refining this breakthrough spirit pill was only a matter of time for him. Gu gave Xiao Gu enough candy at the beginning, so he was not disturbed during this period. After about half a day, a breakthrough spirit pill was successfully produced. Ding! The host has successfully refined a 5th grade breakthrough spirit pill. Alchemy attainment has gained 999 times experience. Ding! It has been detected that the host has successfully refined the 5th grade breakthrough spirit pill. The success rate has returned to normal. After taking the breakthrough spirit pill out of the furnace, Gu immediately walked out of the secret alchemy room. However, he did not see the King of Myriad Mountains, so he could only walk back to the palace along the original route. When he reached the palace, Gu realized that the King of Myriad Mountains seemed to be reviewing documents. "Young hero, why are you here so quickly?" At this moment, Ning Shanhe noticed Gu. His heart skipped a beat. Could it be that the other party kept failing and used up all the materials? After all, less than half a day had passed. He felt that it was very likely that the other party had failed. If all the materials were used up, then it would be troublesome. He had spent a lot of effort and money to prepare those materials. Gu did not say anything and directly showed the breakthrough spirit pill in his hand. Seeing this, Ning Shanhe immediately exclaimed, This is the breakthrough spirit pill?" He thought that the other party had failed, but he did not expect the opposite. Most importantly, it had only been less than half a day. He had actually successfully refined it so quickly. This young man was simply a godlike existence. Even though Ning Shanhe was not an alchemist, he knew a lot about alchemy. Most 5th grade alchemists would find it difficult to successfully refine the breakthrough spirit pill. Ordinary 6th grade alchemists would not dare to say that they had a 100% chance of successfully refining it. However, this young man had done it. Moreover, he had only used less than half a day. Ning Shanhe did not dare to imagine such a terrifying level of alchemy. Yes. Gu nodded and said, however, I used up the other 4 materials when I was practicing. He also took the opportunity to fabricate a suitable excuse. Ning Shanhe immediately stopped what he was doing and couldn't wait to see the spirit breakthrough pill. As for the 4 sets of materials, he didn't care at all. As long as this spirit-breaking pill was correct, nothing else mattered. Ning Shanhe took the breakthrough spirit pill from Gu's hand and examined it carefully. Based on his own perception, he felt that there was nothing wrong with this spirit breakthrough pill. The quality was also very good, and there was almost nothing to nitpick about. There was no doubt that this was the spirit breakthrough pill. General, I'll bring young swordsman Gu to our palace's treasure vault right now to pick out the treasures. Don't be negligent. Ning Shanhe ordered one of the generals. This general was the master of the general's mansion. He was also Ning Tianhe's younger brother and Ning Qingzhu's father. Not only that, but he was also the second strongest person in the Wanshan Empire, second only to Ning Shanhe. Yes. Ning Tianhe replied. After that, Ning Tianhe and Ning Qingzhu led Ji to the palace treasury. Ning Shanhe, on the other hand, went to give the spirit-breaking pill to his father. At this moment, they were on the way to the palace treasury. It was unknown if Ning Tianhe was a natural or something, but he could chat happily with Ji as soon as they met. Speaking of which, do you already have a wife? At this moment, Ning Tianhe changed the topic to another topic. You can say that I already have one. Although Ji didn't know why he suddenly changed the topic, she still answered truthfully. A fiancée should be considered a wife. I see. That's a pity. Ning Tianhe said regretfully, otherwise, I can let my daughter Qingzhu have a close relationship with you. Ji smiled speechlessly. It's not good to not ask for Commander Ning's opinion first. However, Ning Qingzhu's next sentence immediately made him choke. It's fine. I don't mind. Ning Qingzhu said with a straight face. Ji was instantly speechless. But if you don't mind, my daughter Qingzhu can also be one of your concubines. At this moment, Ning Tianhe said with a smile. Forget it. Ji said awkwardly. No matter how beautiful Ning Qingzhu was, he couldn't just accept her as his concubine. Moreover, he had only met Ning Qingzhu a few times at most. They had only spoken a few times, so how could he have a casual conversation with her? All right. Although Ning Tianhe felt that it was a pity, he could only end this topic. If Qingzhu and this young man could become a couple, he wouldn't have to worry about Qingzhu's future. Unfortunately, there was basically no hope. At this moment, Ning Qingzhu looked at Ji with a hint of surprise in her beautiful eyes. This young man didn't seem to be greedy for beauty like other men. If her father said what he had just said to the other young masters of the major forces, they would definitely accept it ecstatically without hesitation. Of course, if that really happened, she definitely wouldn't be willing, and her father wouldn't force her. The reason why she didn't care just now was that after interacting with him a few times, she felt that this young man was much stronger than other men of the same generation in all aspects. After that, Ning Tianhe and Ning Qingzhu brought Ji to the palace's treasure vault. Ji and Xiao Gu entered the palace's treasure vault, while Ning Tianhe and Ning Qingzhu waited outside. In the palace's treasure vault, Ji saw countless precious treasures. Among them, there were beast-taming techniques that he had never seen before. Although Ji had become a beast-tamer long ago, he didn't have any beast-taming technique. This time, he naturally had to choose a beast-taming technique carefully. He could choose a total of 3 treasures. First, Ji chose the most advanced third-grade beast-taming technique. This third-grade beast-taming technique could tame third-grade, ninth-grade demonic beasts at most. Although he already had Xiao Gu as his sole contract partner, and there was no need to tame other low-grade demonic beasts, there was no harm in learning it. After that, Ji continued to choose other treasures. Soon, he saw a sword engraved with strange green patterns. It was a low-grade 4th-grade sword, and it was called the Green Streak Sword. His own cold blade was only a low-grade 3rd-grade artifact. Moreover, he had used the cold blade for so long, and he often overloaded himself with earth-grade sword technique. After a long period of accumulation, it was already damaged, and it was no longer as useful as before. Therefore, it was indeed time to change to a new sword. Ji chose the Green Streak Sword as the second treasure. Next, Ji started to choose the third treasure. Chapter 462. The palace vault was huge. Almost all of the most precious treasures in the entire Wanshan Empire were stored here. However, Ji did not have an obsessive-compulsive disorder, nor did he like to waste time. He did not need anything in particular, so he decided to just pick one and leave. Just then, Ji caught a glimpse of a pitch-black slate. The system notification rang in his head. Ding! The host glanced at the sword intent slate. Half-step sword intent 70% experience gained. 1 by 999 times. Sword intent slate? That was good stuff. Without much thought, Ji chose the sword intent slate as the third treasure. After all, with the sword intent slate, he could improve his sword intent anytime. After that, Ji brought Xiao Gu out of the palace's treasury. Seeing Ji walk out, Ning Tianhe asked, "Have you chosen, young master?" "Yes, I have." Ji showed the 3 items to Ning Tianhe. When he saw the sword intent slate, Ning Tianhe was surprised. "You know sword Dao, young master?" "Just a little," Ji said humbly. "These are the sword intent slates passed down by several kings. Their sword intents are on them." Ning Tianhe explained, "It will be of great help to young master's sword Dao." Then, Ning Tianhe and Ning Qingzhu left with Ji. When they were about to leave, Ning Tianhe reminded him, "Young master, you have to be careful of the evolving temple. Young master has become famous in the Wanshan Empire. They might have bad intentions." Ji just nodded with a smile and did not say anything. When he first came to the Wanshan Empire, he had met the vice palace master of the Wanshan subpalace. Since they already knew that he was the palace master of the Kanglan subpalace, they would not do anything to him. However, if anything happened, he did not mind teaching the Wanshan subpalace a lesson. Then, Ji planned to leave the Wanshan Empire. As for whether Ning Shanhe's father could break through to the spirit profound realm, it had nothing to do with him. He was only responsible for refining the spirit breakthrough pill. However, Ji had just walked out of the royal city and arrived at a piece of wilderness when she was stopped by a group of men in black. This group of black-clothed people was clearly from the Myriad Mountains Branch Palace Hall. Ji felt like she had been slapped in the face. He was just thinking that the Myriad Mountains Branch Palace Hall would not do anything to him, but now someone had come. However, Ji was more concerned about why these guys were here. If they were here purely to find trouble with him, then he would be speechless. "Are you waiting for me?" Ji asked. "That's right," the leading black-clothed man said. "However, we are not here to find trouble with Hall Master Ji." Ji glanced at the black-clothed man and could feel an energy similar to his own in his body. It was apparent that this black-clothed man was also the vice palace master of the Myriad Mountains Branch Palace. His cultivation was also at the peak of LV9 Tongshin realm, but he was not the same person he had met previously. "What's the matter?" Ji continued to ask. The other party was not here to find trouble, which made Ji feel less speechless. "We just want to ask Hall Master Ji not to snatch our resources from the Myriad Mountains Branch Palace Hall," the black-clothed man said. "Snatch resources?" Ji thought about it for a moment, then realized what the other party meant. To put it simply, the Myriad Mountains Branch Palace Hall was worried that he, the Navy Branch Palace Master, would recruit the new blood from the Myriad Mountains Empire. After all, he was now very famous in the royal city. If he revealed his identity as the Navy Branch Palace Hall Master, he would definitely attract many people to follow him. However, Ji had never thought of this and was completely uninterested. He did not have the leisure to recruit people. He was now a hands-off boss, so why would he specially go to other empires to recruit people? "Don't worry, I don't have the leisure and interest," Ji said. "Thank you, Hall Master Ji." The black-clothed man could not help but sigh in relief. He was originally worried that Ji would not agree. In fact, Ji had no reason to do this, but he still had to thank him. This was because this young man's talent and strength made the Myriad Mountains Branch Palace Hall extremely fearful. In this world, whoever had the most strength would be the one in the right. Then, goodbye. With that, Ji walked past the black-clothed men. "Let's go back," the Vice Hall Master also said to the other black-clothed men. Since the matter had been resolved, there was no need for him to have too much contact with that young man. After all, that was a terrifying existence that had slaughtered the upper echelons of the Royal Academy. Before leaving, the Vice Hall Master could not help but take a deep look at Ji and muttered to himself, This young man might be able to change the current situation of the southern region. At this moment, Ji was dealing with the wild beast. One had to admit that the Myriad Mountains Empire really had a lot of wild beasts. Even in this kind of wild land, one could encounter strange beasts at any time. Fortunately, they were all low-level rank 1 and rank 2 beasts that could be killed with a casual swing of the sword. Ding! Host has swung the sword. Earth rank medium level sword technique brilliant sun in the sky, second form gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ding! Host has swung the sword. Earth rank medium level sword technique brilliant sun in the sky, second form gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Along the way, Ji could not remember how many beasts he had killed. At this moment, Ji suddenly sensed that someone was fighting with a beast in front of him. Moreover, it seemed to be one of the 3 female disciples of the Jade Spirit sect who had followed him last time. Ji could not be bothered and continued to walk forward. When he was about to meet that female disciple, he took a slight detour and did not meet that person to save himself the trouble. However, at this moment, Ji just happened to sense that the female disciple seemed to be running towards him. There was also a rank 3 beast chasing after that female disciple. Ji was speechless. It was definitely not that the other party had discovered him, but that the other party had coincidentally run in his direction. In the next moment, that female disciple appeared in front of him. Behind her, there was a ferocious-looking and tall pig demon chasing after her. When that female disciple saw Ji, it was as if she had seen her savior. She shouted with a sobbing voice, "Young master, save me!" Hearing that, Ji could not ignore it. Since she had already run in front of him, then he might as well save her. Ding! Host has swung the sword. Earth rank medium level sword technique brilliant sun in the sky, second form gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ji pulled out the green streak sword and flashed in front of the pig demon, slashing the pig demon's head. The pig's head fell to the ground. Blood splattered in midair. Killed in one hit. Ji perfectly dodged all the blood splattering in the air. However, that female disciple was in a miserable state. She was splattered with beast blood all over her body. She was stunned for a moment, then suddenly burst into tears. Hearing the other party's cries, Ji was immediately confused. "You can cry like this?" Chapter 463. Ji was stunned. She asked, "Why are you crying?" "I'm scared, sob sob sob." The female disciple sobbed, while sobbing like a storm of pear flowers. Ji finally understood. This girl was like a flower that grew up in a greenhouse. She had never experienced life and death. In addition, she had a weak and timid personality. Not only was she chased by demon beasts, she had also witnessed the bloody scene just now. She was even splashed with demon blood. Naturally, she couldn't help but cry. For such a flower that grew up in a greenhouse, Ji didn't know what to say. "Speaking of which, where are your other 2 companions?" When the female disciple was almost done crying, Ji changed the topic. "Senior sisters and I were attacked by demon beasts on the way back to the sect. We lost them." The female disciple wiped her tears and said, "Then you go find them. I'm leaving." After saying that, Ji held Xiao Gu's hand and turned to leave. "Wait." The female disciple had just opened her mouth when she realized that the other party had already disappeared. She was left alone in such a dangerous wilderness, and her body was covered in demon beasts' blood. She didn't know what to do. Just as she was about to lose all hope, her 2 senior sisters found her. They returned to the Jade Spirit sect together. On the other side, Ji was being carried by Xiao Gu out of the Wanshan Empire. After flying past one ancient city after another, they finally left the Wanshan Empire. Next stop, Pajuan Empire. In the Kanglan Empire, array formation masters didn't have much of a presence, but in the Pajuan Empire, array formation masters were the most popular profession. Jiyu just happened to want to learn more about array formations. After another half a day, Jiyu and Xiao Gu arrived at the Pajuan Empire. The moment they entered the Pajuan Empire, Jiyu realized that array formations could be seen everywhere. Most of them were used for surveillance. Obviously, they could save a lot of manpower. Especially in the more deserted areas at the borders of the empire, there couldn't be soldiers guarding them. In such situations, these array formations could be very useful. Jiyu did not waste any time in those ordinary ancient cities or small towns. Instead, she headed straight for the Shattering Armaments Empire's royal city. If he wanted to further study array formations, he naturally had to come to the royal city. After that, Jiyu specially bought some maps and books to learn more about King City. Ding. The host has browsed the map. Silver level memory experience gained. 1 by 999 times. Ding. The host has flipped through the book. Silver level memory experience gained. 1 by 999 times. The understanding was complete. Jiyu found out that in the Pajuan Empire's royal city, there was also a power similar to the Kanglan Empire's Alchemist Guild, which was the Array Master Guild. The main branch of the Array Formation Master Guild was located in the Shattering Army Empire's Imperial City. Only Array Formation Masters of the second rank and above could enter. In the Array Formation Guild, there were several 5th-grade Array Formation Masters. All of them were the Shattering Army Shattering Empire's most famous and accomplished Array Masters. This was especially true for the president of the Array Formation Guild, whose level was very close to that of a 6th-grade Array Formation Master. There was no need to doubt the Array Formation Master Guild's background and strength. If Jiyu wanted to further study array formations, the Array Formation Master Guild was undoubtedly the best place to go. Although the Qing family could be considered as one of the most famous array families in the royal city, he did not plan to go to the Qing family to find Qing Yuyu and Qing Jiangjiang. After all, he was not very familiar with Qing Yuyu and Qing Jiangjiang. Without thinking too much, Jiyu planned to go to the Array Formation Master Guild. But before that, he had to obtain the identity of an Array Formation Master. Because the Array Formation Master Guild had extremely strict requirements, as long as one did not have the identity of a 2nd-grade Array Formation Master or above, they were not allowed to take half a step into the Array Formation Master Guild. Jiyu first went to get the identity of an Array Formation Master so that he could save a lot of trouble. After all, he was not going to cause trouble. And the place to register as an Array Formation Master was right next to the Array Formation Master Guild. This place was called the Array Formation Testing Ground, and it was a place specially used to test Array Formation Masters. Even ordinary people could go in and take the test. Once they succeeded, they would be able to obtain the identity of an Array Formation Master. However, the registration fee for participating in the test was a must, and ordinary people might not be able to afford it. This was because the venue, array formation materials, and so on were all provided by the Array Formation Testing Ground. At this moment, Jiyu and Xiao Gu had found the location of the Array Formation Guild, and the Array Formation Testing Ground was right next to the Array Formation Master Guild. Jiyu entered the Array Formation Testing Ground first. He walked into the hall. Soon, a staff member came forward to inquire. "May I ask if both of you are here to participate in the Array Formation Master Guild's test?" "Only me," Jiyu said. "Okay." The staff member smiled and said, "Then please go in." Jiyu did not say anything else and walked straight in. He pushed open a door and his eyes lit up. Jiyu came to a very spacious open-air room. He glanced around casually. He found that he was surrounded by audience seats. The innermost area was the place where the Array Formation Master Guild's test was held. There were too many people, so he directly chose to ignore them. Jiyu planned to go straight to the test area to take the test. At this moment, he suddenly felt someone patting his shoulder. Then, a slightly familiar voice sounded. Are you Jiyu? Jiyu instinctively looked back. He found that it was the sisters Cheng Yeye and Cheng Jiangjiang. Chapter 464. It's really Jiyu. Cheng Yeye and Cheng Jiangjiang were both surprised. Just now, Cheng Jiangjiang felt that this figure in front of him looked a little familiar, so he went up to pat him on the shoulder. Why are you here? Jiyu asked Cheng Yeye and Cheng Jiangjiang. We want to ask you, why are you here? Cheng Jiangjiang asked. The Kanglan Empire was very far away from here. That was why she was so surprised to see Jiyu here. I'm here to register as an array master. What about you? Jiyu replied casually. Yes, my sister and I are here to take the third-grade array master exam, Cheng Jiangjiang said. Then, she looked at the little girl who was holding hands with Jiyu. By the way, is this your sister? Yes. Jiyu nodded. So you have a sister. But why are you dressed like this? Cheng Jiangjiang thought that the horns on the girl's head and the tail behind her were deliberately made up by the girl. She just likes it, Jiyu said casually. Cheng Jiangjiang didn't care so much. Let's take the exam together. Jiyu didn't say anything else. They walked into the array formation exam area together. Miss, are you going to take the third-grade array master exam this time? The examiner in charge of the array formation exam asked respectfully when he saw Cheng Yeye and Cheng Jiangjiang. After all, these two twin sisters were not only the eldest and second miss of the Qing family, but also the best array formation geniuses in the Pajuan Empire. At the same time, a group of people in the audience also paid attention to Cheng Yeye and Cheng Jiangjiang. Look, that's the eldest and second miss of the Qing family. These twin sisters are really amazing. They're going to take the third-grade array master exam at such a young age. That's right. Cheng Yeye and Cheng Jiangjiang's array formation talent is the best in the entire Pajuan Empire. Who is that young man in black next to them? He's actually so close to Cheng Yeye and Cheng Jiangjiang. I'm not sure. Anyway, I don't have any impression of that young man. A group of people were discussing animatedly in the spectators' stands. That's right. Cheng Jiangjiang replied. Then she looked at Jiyu and said, This friend of mine is also here to take part in the array formation master assessment. And this is? The examiner's gaze also landed on the black-clothed youth. My name is Jiyu, and I would like to participate in the lower grade 4th stage array master assessment. Jiyu said calmly. His words were shocking. The examiner was stunned. You? Say that again? He thought that he had misheard. Not only that, but the surrounding audience was also in an uproar. Who on earth is this young man? How dare he threaten to take the inferior grade 4 array master assessment? I'm afraid he's just bragging. This young man is probably not even 18 years old. How could he possibly be a 4th grade array master? Look at the expressions of the two young ladies of the Qing family. I don't know how this kind of person can mix with the two young ladies. The surrounding crowd sighed incessantly. No one believed that the black-clothed youth really had the ability of a lower grade 4 array master. After all, a 4th grade array master was an extremely rare existence in the entire Pajuan Empire. For example, the number of 5th grade array masters in the entire Pajuan Empire could be counted on one hand. As for 4th grade array masters, there were at most 100 of them. They did not believe that this young man would be one of those 100 or so people. Indeed, even Cheng Yeye and Cheng Jiangjiang were shocked. Cheng Jiangjiang was slightly better. Previously, during the beast hunting ceremony in the Kanglan Empire, she felt that Jiyu's array skills seemed to be very strong. However, she did not expect that Jiyu would ask for the 4th grade array master assessment right off the bat. I would like to take the inferior grade 4 array master assessment directly. Jiyu repeated his request. As for the various noises around him, he directly ignored them. Although the examiner felt that he was being played by this young man, He chose to bear with it since this young man seemed to be friends with the two young ladies of the Qing family. If young master is sure, we can go through the procedures right now. The examiner forced a smile on his face and said, Young master, please pay the service fee for the inferior grade 4 array master assessment. At this time, some people in the audience began to laugh at him. It's not that I want to say this, but that kid probably can't even afford the service fee for the inferior grade 4 array master assessment. Ha ha, that's very likely. I don't think there's a problem. After all, he's someone that the two young ladies of the Qing family know. But he's really too pretentious. However, the group of people was laughing heartily when Ji casually threw a few bags of gold coins on the table. Ding! Host has activated his spiritual power to open the storage ring. Golden spiritual power gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Previously, Ji had stored most of the gold coins in the blue merchant card. Although there were not many gold coins left in his storage ring, it was still very easy to pay the service fee. Hearing the sound of the gold coins falling on the table, many people in the audience immediately shut their mouth. Is this enough? Ji asked indifferently. It's completely enough, completely enough. Seeing so many bags of gold coins, the examiner hurriedly nodded. Then Ji added, Keep the change, it's too troublesome. Good. Good. Thank you, young master. The examiner immediately bowed and nodded. In fact, the other party had given him a lot of gold coins. He could keep the extra money for himself, so naturally, he was very happy. At the same time, he completely lost his temper. Even if this young master said that he wanted to take the 5th grade array master assessment, he would not say a word. After all, this was a rich young master who had rewarded him with a large amount of gold coins. Only Qing Yeye and Qing Jiangjiang were not surprised. Based on their understanding of Ji in the Kanglan Empire, this guy was so strong in all aspects, it was impossible for him to lack money. They also did not think that Ji was bragging when he said that he wanted to take the inferior grade 4 array master assessment. After all, Ji had shocked them too many times during the beast hunting ceremony in the Kanglan Empire. Next, Qing Yeye and Qing Jiangjiang also paid the service fee for the inferior grade 3 array master assessment. Then, under the quick arrangement of the examiner, Ji, Qing Yeye, and Qing Jiangjiang all took their respective assessments at the same time. First of all, Ji was going to face an inferior 4th grade array formation master assessment. The rules of the assessment were very simple. It was somewhat similar to the pill master assessment. That was, the examiner would first prepare 3 sets of materials for the 4th grade array. Ji needed to use these 3 sets of materials for the 4th grade array to successfully draw an array diagram. After drawing the array diagram, it would be handed over to the examiner for inspection. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.